sniping, go back to the town hall, get more bullets, and like I had like 9 mags on me, Alex, and you play
I
Foxhole, like you know that shit's
yeah.
excessive.
What
Like
game's
I
this?
had 9
Oh,
magazines.
It's called
Foxhole.
Foxhole.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's
Oh,
weird. It's like almost top down because it's a
I
top
don't
down
know how to
game, but
describe
it's
it.
Oh,
focused
so it's
on
an
your
isometric.
guy. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
weird because you play only one individual,
it's
but
like
it's
top
too
down
far
third
away to be
person.
third person.
Oh, okay.
yeah.
So that sounds kind
I'm
of like
a
the old command. That sounds like the old Commando games, if you guys
one
remember.
Yeah,
hero
yeah,
RTS.
it's similar to that, but
Maybe, yeah.
it's funny
I
too
am.
because
It's a corner shooter. You only ever attack in diagonals.
yeah, well,
Yeah,
it's
pretty
yeah,
much.
Oh,
yeah, basically, yeah. Your diagonal's gonna be give
gosh,
you the most
yeah.
range, but
If
it's
you're not
funny because
corner
they
shooting.
also
Wonky.
have a feature where you'll only be able to see wherever your guy is facing. So like, even though it's top down, yeah, you're aware of the terrain and stuff around you. But if you're not facing
Sure.
the guy, they don't show up on the screen. They fade, so they're just
Yeah,
gone.
Tricky.
shaking it. Really
Yeah, so you
stupid.
actually have like fog of war and stuff like that. It's interesting, but
That's cool.
It is,
it's a
except for the fact that
grindy
you
ass
can.
game. Yeah.
Oh god, so much. It's worse. Worse 69 is right now, dude.
Yeah, it's because it's like there's people who play it just to be logistics people. They sit there for hours on end every day, just like
I believe
making
you're talking
equipment.
about the Germans.
With an Excel sheet.
Yeah, basically that's what some
Yeah,
people do.
honestly, dude, I
And
don't think I've ever met a logistics player who's not drunk or German or Austrian.
and it's
Or
like
all
Weird.
three.
it's
Yeah.
like ridiculous because like you'll sit there and it's like you'll play like 4 hours and you and your friends will like take out
Sure.
these few outposts and go like 6 miles up the road. And then the next day, a clan comes through and they had an event and they just pushed
Fucking
the line
yeah.
back another 7 miles. So you just lost a mile. And it's
Yeah,
like,
fucking clan
fucking
made
great.
bad, bro.
It's
Fellas,
an
I'm
interesting
gonna warn
game.
you now. I've started the wine consumption.
Oh, lordy.
Oh, are we getting okay, yeah. 1 second, let me get my beer.
Figure out the spirits, boys.
Yeah, I'll be
The
right back,
Emperor.
man.
So, I mean, we left off where we left off. You guys have a new group of friends now, and you've started your own little imperium. So there's, it should be on the map. I think I have it set there, so you guys should be able to see the galactic map now. It just has names and locations of everything that the 5-2 had available. So just
Oh,
their regiment. So it's not
excellent. Oh,
everything.
pretty.
It's
I
not
don't
everything,
like
but
the I don't like the
Where's
black
the
holes on the map. Oh,
where's
so
the we
it'll
are
actually.
here indicator?
where's
Oh,
the what? Oh, that's the enclave. So that should be right over here.
Oh, on the left.
God
Okay.
bless the enclave.
Yes.
The Chiliad.
Yeah, New Chiliad is what they call the second planet.
Right.
Also, it took
Okay.
me a long time to realize where our new characters were because I was looking under ship
No.
crew. I was like, "Where's Stark? Where is everybody?"
Oh yeah, I rearranged everything. So yeah, it's you guys are now under. There's an Andromeda tab, and you're under the Geno 5-2 Chiliad, and you guys are
Oh.
under there.
Okay.
Yeah, because I was like, I'll just set this here because at this time we don't really need everybody else who's on the ship
Oh,
because they're not
for
here.
sure.
So.
Yeah.
They're here in our hearts.
Yeah, that's why they're at the bottom now. But
Is
they
that where
are.
my heart is?
Yeah, it's at the bottom. It's in your shoe.
Purino.
It's because I shit it out last time we were in a fight with Eldar.
Maybe. Who's
you guys fucked them up, but yeah, the Eldar have scary equipment.
then they fucked us.
Those automatic weapons are no joke.
Yeah, and
Maybe.
aren't they actually worse in like the original Death Watch?
Probably.
Ugh.
Would not surprise me in the least.
God, I wish I had Terminator armor.
What did we lose? Oh, we lost Dade.
Yep.
He probably just had an internet poo poo, considering he went offline.
Uh-oh.
Indeed.
But yeah, so
Gets attacked.
yeah, you guys have the galactic map now. So the council is going to be discussing with Thaddeus, with Pyzel, and
God, it's so weird having
Artemis.
Thaddeus back.
Thaddeus, more like fatties.
He's also
What?
younger.
Right.
Yeah, but
But they're
Yeah,
gonna
but is
just
he cute?
discuss with them about like what the game plan is. But as of right now, they're discussing with you that um, if you guys have an idea of like what you could contribute, because at this moment, they're looking to divide you guys up. So unless there's a reason that
How
everybody
dare
needs to
they
stick
break up the
together.
band?
Well, I mean,
Uh,
because Boris has, his specific set of skills that they would use for espionage and other
For
Yeah.
sure,
needs.
for sure.
Nakai is valued very highly because there's not too many tech priests. And then Stark and Chazov easily have their
Yeah.
advantages. So and
But I
then the
don't want
rest
him
of
to
your
take
space
me away
marines.
from the
And then we also
boys.
have a psyker.
so
No.
the argument that Stark will make in this whole situation. Also, Dana's typing. I believe he's about to tell us that his internet is being stinky pee pee poo poo.
Oh,
That is
damn,
my
BB.
professional opinion. But the Stark will make the argument that they are trained as a single unit. Like, even though it's odd for Space Marines and humans to be in such it's weird for Space Marines and humans to work in close quarters together. But Stark and Chazov and all the other humans, including Nakai and Kay, are trained to fight alongside Space Marines.
No. We're chapter serfs. It's fine. We're Death Watch chapter.
Just tell them chapter series. There you go.
Yeah, Stark with his fucking librarian ranger uniform. Yeah, I'm just a chapter serf, bro.
The Space Marine
No,
comes by
dude.
and says, "You work for me now." I'm not sure your commissar can overrule that.
Fair enough. Well,
Guys.
we don't have it. We actually don't have any commissars.
Librarians
not.
don't
Yeah,
have
Who's
commissars,
gonna run away? Let's be
We-
real here.
except for
do-
everyone.
They have gene whips.
Cowards
Yeah,
till
they
we
do
gotta
have the
stop
I mean, they
gene
making
kind of
them
whips.
have
here.
Yeah.
commissars.
So there are political officers, but they're not as severe as
Yeah.
commissars. They
Okay.
don't. I mean, they'll beat you half to death, but they don't execute people. That's not their
That's
job.
the spirit.
Oh,
How
dude,
nice.
that's my king.
Yeah, it's like.
What beer are you drinking?
I'll choke
Nakai?
you. I'll choke you just hard enough so you can't get an erection, but just light enough so you can't pass out. It's right, perfect area.
Joke's on you. I'll inject the oxygen directly into my bloodstream so that way I get overpressure in my dong. It'll be like you're fucking.
Or your nipples will pop. Yeah, but it's So at this point, there's
I'm glad that's
Powers,
what
nipple
Dane
guns.
came back to, or your nipples pop.
but
Yeah.
at
You
this
messed
Talking
point,
up.
about Alex's two gay dads again.
possibly.
No. This is about the gene whips. This is what they do to us when we run away
Yeah.
from the battlefield.
What they
Well,
erect our
I mean
nipples.
that does beg to differ. So like obviously the gene whips have a degree of political say over the fucking the Chileans.
Yeah, I just call them the 5-2s. To be
Chilies.
honest, it's easier to go with the numbers.
5-2s. Yeah,
Yeah.
the Chilies. So they have a degree of control over 5-2s, but the issue is like we are so far removed from their political thought spectrum. Like do they actually have any say or authority? You know what I'm saying? Do you guys understand what I'm
So
saying?
that's the thing. So like right now, because it was easier for the last group. They only had 2 survivors. So as far as it was considered, Space Marines still outranked damn near everybody here. So it was pretty easy to establish a hierarchy and be like, okay, the Space Marines will have their sergeant on the council with the 5 commanders and Thaddeus, and they'll have a say in stuff, but they outrank everyone who's not on the like anyone who's under the council. You guys are different. You guys are a mixed batch, and they have to figure it out because that's why they're talking. That's why Paizel is going with them to talk and stuff because he's going to end up being on the council as well because he's also a sergeant, and they have to decide. Are you guys of lower rank, and they can divide you up, and the Space Marines can go do Space Marine missions, and the humans are going to get reassigned, or are you guys going to have an idea and a mission goal yourself, and they can actually just support you and make sure that you're just a separate unit?
Well, the thing is, we're not guardsmen anymore.
Yeah, you're part of
Like,
the
I have
Inquisition.
elevated.
we're
Yeah.
inquisitorial acolytes.
Yeah, but that's the
Wait,
thing. The
these.
highest ranking is
Yeah.
inquisitorial assets right now is a clone, which technically has no power, and the Death Watch Space Marines. So, and that's the thing is
Dane,
that
keep the band together.
What?
it's like
What?
Yeah.
yeah,
Great.
your Sergeant Pizel, he's going to talk with them and stuff, but like the council, they're in charge of their regiment, and it's one of those things. It's like you guys are coming from an imperium that's a lot more religious based than they were from, and they feel like they are following their orders and they are duty bound to do what they're doing.
He said duty.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
Mm.
it's a weird conflicting thing that they have to think of. It's a little political right now. But
Yeah.
yeah, if you guys have an idea, like if you guys want to try to do, I don't know, like if you
Don't
wanted to
don't
try
skip
to
the part.
infiltrate one of the planets and set up a safe house and try to go from there, or if you're trying to set up, it's basically like, do you want to try to go get closer to the Gaians in the Church of Adam, or do you want to try to go and get closer to the Webway? Because like you could try to
Webway.
go towards the Webway. Yeah, but how easy do you think it's going to be to try to get the weapons, forces, and intel you need out in the bumfuck nowhere of a galaxy?
Yeah, but I feel
See,
like it'd be
Yeah.
easier to get those that material against the Ruby Syndicate than against the Gaian Empire.
That's where shit, gets weird because the Ruby Syndicate could have any number of different things and shit that they could employ against us,
Sure.
any
Well,
manner of illegal
the
stuff.
Rub
But it's easy to predict what the Gaians are gonna do once you
yeah,
make contact with them,
that's
right?
that's the question. If you guys are a flea or a tick, what's easier to deal with? The fucking cat that's constantly scratching itself and moving around, or a bear? Because like the Gaians, they establish colonies, they have settlements and
Mm.
stuff. The Ruby Syndicate doesn't do that. They don't colonize planets. They took over one planet from some orcs because they wanted
Right.
the Webway, and that was it.
Yeah.
I
Like,
feel like we need to
Also,
at least try and prioritize getting a message through to say, "Hey, we're alive," and a brief
Yes.
like
Now, I
synopsis of
I
what the fuck's going
do
on.
well, as
I
of
do like that, but the biggest concern that I have is, how are we going to just get the Ruby Syndicate off of a world? And I'm absolutely fine with throwing plasma engines on a giant fucking asteroid and just slamming that into the Ruby Syndicate world. But,
that's going to
you
destroy the
know,
Webway, though.
I mean, it might.
There's three active. There's three active, but that's still one less.
Well,
Yeah.
Nakai, I have one question. Well,
Yes.
a couple, but one big one. How familiar are you with the Life Eater virus?
I guess that would kind of depend on the forbidden lores that I have. I know about it, but I don't know if Nakai would. Let me
Because I
take a
feel
look at
like
his forbidden
liberal
lores.
application of the Life Eater virus could cleanse the world and leave the Webway intact.
True,
So-
but the secrets about how to make the Life Eater virus are a closely guarded inquisitorial
Yes.
thing, and to experiment with that would basically be
spooky.
very
I mean, if we
dangerous.
had the STC on board our ship, maybe we might be able to make it, but we don't
If
have
we had
that.
the SDC on board our ship, we would be above the Life Eater virus.
Yeah, we'd just be cranking out Space Marines or some
Sure.
shit. We'd just be cranking out.
Uh,
man.
so yeah,
You
who would
could
care about the
literally-
Gaians if we had the STC for that? It's like,
Yeah.
Well, yeah, my thing about the Gaians is that, they establish these remote colonies, so they have to have some form of STC light as well. You know what I'm saying? Or some developed version of it that facilitates the,
Yeah.
progression. So if we
No,
could find a
that's the thing. It's so the STC became obsolete and they don't make anymore is because they didn't hinder the progression of learning and understanding, and also the development of technology. So the people are assisted by AI, and there are AI that can completely automaton and do their own stuff, but there's individuals that fundamentally understand the Gaian technology from its simplest form up. They create it, they advance it, they experiment with it,
Right.
and they proceed. It's not like
They still wrote
like
it down
Mars.
somewhere.
Yeah, that's what I'm
They wrote it
saying.
down somewhere.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
you can like, yeah, obviously there's certain things that are like classified or top secret. Like they're not going to let their most advanced technology be accessed by civilians, but the amount of information that civilians have access to in the Gaian territories would drop anyone in the Imperium's jaw. Like it's just absurd. Like it's like
So we gain access to that information.
So my big thing about going back to why we shouldn't split up the band, besides the fact that I enjoy the band,
Who's gonna play bass?
Stark plays bass. You see how little pussy he gets? Of course he's the bassist. Anyway,
Oh
so he anyway, they might be Imperial agents, but we don't dress like them. We're not wearing the 5-2's uniforms. We're not wearing, I mean, besides a couple of small insignia on the Space Marines power armor, there's no way to
Yeah.
identify us with the 5-2. We could do those kind of clandestine missions, and then the 5-2 can go, we're not breaking, ceasefire. These are just a bunch of people that's, are
those are racist. They're
They
not
could,
us.
yeah. Literally, they could fucking like on the diplomatic table. They could say, "Oh, these are a bunch of fucking like dumbasses. They're just a bunch of religious zealots that fell through a webway one day." I mean, we don't fucking know.
yeah, like
Respond. How do you know you fell through a webway then?
there's deniability for this unit where the
Yeah,
5-2
for sure.
can go, those aren't 5-2. Those men don't belong to the 5-2.
If we leave no survivors, it's even better.
Well,
Yeah,
that's always the
my
plan.
thing.
That's
Just
always the
kill 'em
plan.
all.
That's the plan, but sometimes you
Kill 'em
can't
all.
kill them all.
You're not trying
Shouldn't
hard
enough.
enough.
Yeah, I mean,
Are you really a servant of the Emperor? I mean, come on, you got to kill them all.
I have a higher kill count than both of you.
yeah,
Not
it's
So-
higher than
For now.
mine.
yeah, I mean that's possible. It's if you take off like some of the insignia on your equipment, like you wouldn't be able to do it to your like bolter and las gun and stuff like that because there ain't
Oh
no,
no.
there ain't
We
nobody who's
can put a
gonna
gas
deface that
mask
equipment.
on.
Yeah,
gas
but
mask.
removing the inquisitorial emblem and stuff off of power armor is not the end of the world.
It was detected.
But
Yeah, the gonna be mad. I say we just put
I
a
mean-
gas mask on everything. Put one on the bolter. Put one on the las gun. Put one on the
Sure,
space
sure.
marine. All
Isn't
good.
Great.
hold on? Isn't the power armor that Space Marines wear in the Death Watch the same armor that they wore as
no,
brothers
so
in the original
the
chapter?
the
Or is it
chap
Death
the
Watch armor
chapter
specifically?
itself sends power armor to the Death Watch to be transformed for their Death Watch Space Marines.
Oh, okay.
So like if you're in the Death Watch, you don't you leave that armor with the Death Watch when you go back to your chapter, and they normally have your original gear. Unless they gave it to a new guy, and then yeah, I guess you're just fucking SOL. You're gonna have to keep stay in the Death Watch. But it just depends. Some chapters do it differently. Some will send you with your armor, and the Death Watch will repaint it and stuff when you get there. Some will actually just send armor to the Death Watch and have it on standby.
Gotcha.
Fair enough.
Yeah, that's why some of the Death Watch,
Huh.
like artificer armor and stuff, can actually come from like black shields that served in other chapters that maybe died
Oh,
at some
okay.
point, and it's just stuck at the Death Watch.
Hmm.
But yeah, so at this point, so you think it's more advantageous for you to go on a like fucking
To be the
covert
5-2's
like insertion?
clandestine
Yeah.
unit.
I mean,
Yeah.
I at the same time, I want to maneuver the inquisitorial assets
Sure.
into a position where we can acquire things, but also like the support that we could rely on, which is our real strength here, is like 2-5. Is we are effectively acting as like the forward little peeper tendrils on
Right.
on this operation here.
A recon
So I
unit?
mean, like, Yeah, basically. So, I mean, like, I want to say that, but the issue is like the support that we can rely on is extremely strained as is, and I'm worried that putting us forward in a covert position would basically be, all right, bro, you're on your own. Like, we ain't got
Yeah,
shit to
you're
send
you're
Well,
you.
going through
well,
deep
so that's the thing
infiltration.
though with
Yeah,
the amount of firepower and the amount of like talent that you guys are. It's they've got eyes and ears in a few areas. That's why the maps as expanded as it is. Like, yeah, they don't have a lot of intel, but they got a lot. You know what I mean? Like, it's a lot more than
hmm
it would have been if it was just up to what was in the immediate area. So they do have a few people on some Gaian planets. So really, with the amount of firepower and all the skills you guys have, it'd be more of the lines of you would be going there to essentially start a basically a terrorist cell or some sort of insert, like however you want to
Finally,
do it.
yes, I can live out my
If
dreams
you
of
want to
being
cause
Osama bin Laden.
there's a lot of ways you can do it. If you want to cause fear and terror, if you want to start a cult, if you whatever you want to do, you
Doesn't.
just have to go establish yourselves on a Gaian world, set up a supply chain with the outpost that's closest to the Gaian territories, and proceed to undermine Gaian authority. So how you do
Yeah, I
that?
mean, I
You want to be like the Wolverines from fucking Red Dawn? More power to you. If you want
Well, or the cult
I mean,
It keeps me warm.
Yeah, what
the
happened?
repercussions if we get caught in that kind of situation are very, 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 very potentially party wipe.
you
Uh,
yeah, but you
Everything that we've been
I
through
actually
has
it'd
been
be next level
potentially
party
party
wipe.
with.
Actually, it'd be next level party wipe because if you get caught
Choo
in
choo.
Imperial equipment, it'd be party wipe and all those
Mhm.
people who died.
Chiliad
You
wipe. Yeah.
boys,
Yeah, Chiliad wipe. Six
So I
point
mean,
five
yeah, I
million
mean,
people.
no big
I'd be
deal.
hella down. That's the best place to start. I mean, I personally wouldn't mind
I mean, the Death
acting
Watch
as a bit of an
has done stuff like this
unseen and
before, like
yeah.
especially Kill Marines.
Oh yeah.
Hold on.
Yeah,
I
So
mean, I personally
I
go
like
crazy, son.
I like Dane's idea of getting a message through because there is a chance, a small chance, that Octavius could pull some of those old connections of his and get support, or at least get the fucking Chileans out of there, out of this galaxy,
I
and then we don't have to
mean,
worry about it.
we're gonna have to deal with the life of Ruby Syndicate if we want to like get the Imperial citizens in this galaxy out. But what
Yeah.
I'm saying is, get word to Octavian, but like, listen, bro, shit's fucked here. Send us some planet crackers, that are like super, super, super like minimized, well, miniaturized in terms of size, so we can get them through the fucking
So
like any kind of fucking mass, any kind of weapon of mass destruction, and then we declare a fucking crusade on Andromeda.
so I will
Yeah, I
say
mean, I'd be down to.
that because you guys met that one guy on the first mission who was selling equipment to the cow, like he linked
yeah.
up that connection. He got into the galaxy with a ship. He had his own ship. So you know that somewhere one of those webways is big enough for at least
Yeah,
a
for
small ship.
ships.
It's
So
probably one of the guys.
Sh-
and he's a smuggler. So that means that there's got to be a way to get a message through. But you know for a fact that's not on the Ruby one. Cuz you've seen that portal. It ain't big enough for a ship to go through. It's barely big enough for like a chimera maybe.
All right, so that means that one of the Gaian ones can get through like small void craft, which
So
is
right,
good.
Yeah.
fucking, we need to make connections with all of the like the smuggler, trader, gun runner kind of faces in this galaxy. We need to know who their rogue trader personalities are,
Or
and
someone
Well,
then
has
the
to
best
get.
fill
way,
out an
yeah.
application for the Gaian military and work their way up. I suggest Jacob. Jacob, you got this, bud. You get
Oh man,
Yeah.
Krieger,
Just
Yeah,
level
dude.
4.
Krieger.
Yeah, let's send the psyker to the zealots that kill them on sight. Okay.
I'm
Um,
sure there won't be a test or anything. It'll be
That's
fine.
nothing wrong with
I
that
just have to
discussion.
honestly,
not use
dudes,
my psychic powers.
I think our religious capability is probably the biggest advantage we have because if we make landfall, like there's bound to be downtrodden people who are super easy to
Oh
profile.
God, here comes the Mechanicus Communist Manifesto Part 2.
No, I'm just saying, like, it'd be super easy to profile like the poor and like convert them all to a religion, and then
You
you
know
know.
Can I
exactly
get
what
that?
chaos was to the imperial
Can I
systems.
get a? Can I get that on a shirt? It's easy to profile the poor.
Jesus Christ, bro! You make me sound like I should run for Senate.
Become the Senate.
I am the Senate. Yeah,
No, but seriously though, like I think making landfall in a colony and establishing ourselves is probably the best because colonies have trade networks as well. You know,
Yeah, exploit them.
it's a colony, yeah. So we
do
exploit
the
the colony,
5-2.
we exploit the trade networks.
Are there any planets like Necromunda in this universe?
You mean like hive cities and stuff?
No, like somewhere that it's just like it's dirt nasty. The Gaians have no control.
Fucking
It's where
lawless.
it's where rogue traders and
Necromunda
assassins
is just the underbelly of a hive city. You know, it's not like a specific.
kill you. Shut
like,
up.
it's
mean,
not a
but
specific.
you know what I
It's
mean.
not the Brooklyn of hive cities. It's just a hive city.
But
I mean, Necromunda is pretty shit though. Like as a whole.
Yeah, but that's like average. That's what it's.
Necrom-
So that's what they're supposed to be like portraying. Is it's like, hey, this is what's going on in the underhive of these things.
except Necromunda does tech heresy with the guilds.
Oh yeah,
all
they do.
day.
I mean, yeah,
And if that was a regular tech, if
there
that
are
was a regular,
significant cities. Some are different than others. I mean, the most colonized Gaian territories, they're almost like Coruscant. You know, it's damn near endless cities, and they have
Oh,
these
yeah.
giant space elevators. So, like, when you see a colonized, like full blown, like almost like a core planet of the Gaian territories, they have like these orbital
Sure.
elevators. They have a lot of defense platforms. It's pretty advanced.
Question:
At
are the elevators tethered?
I mean, yeah. So they start as like just basic like wires and stuff like that, but after a certain time, it's essentially a city built up to the orbit of the fucking planet, and then it expands.
Cool.
And then
That's
So,
at a certain
my
point, sometimes they'll connect those orbital elevator stations to each other with other like walkways and stuff like that.
It's good.
Gotcha.
so the
so
big
my
question is, you
my
first,
my,
Kay.
my comically large garden shears will come in great handy off my
Yeah,
motorcycle.
yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Really large.
So,
Love it.
do you want to start? So, are
Yes.
characters Space Marine sized like rare in this galaxy? We saw the Explorator guy, the big guy, the guy that has Dane's sword that
bodyguard.
we want to beat up.
The
Yeah.
Space Marine physique is strange, but it's not anything that would freak anyone out. They because Space Marines are stocky. They're like dwarves, they're wide.
Except
Yeah.
tall.
Yeah,
Yeah,
tall
no, but I
dwarves.
mean, like, how dwarves, like, they're wide. They're big,
Yeah.
thick guys. So, like, Space Marines are the same.
Yeah.
Someone being a Space Marine size isn't uncommon, but they're not going to be as broad shouldered and as stocky as a Space Marine. So, it would be strange, but it's not gonna. No one's gonna point them out and be like, "Yo, that's not a human." Like, nobody's gonna do
Light
that.
someone on
Boys.
fire with your mind, they're all just going to turn and go, oh!
They're gonna be like, "Oh, that dude
Uh,
works
Sure,
out," and
sure.
then keep going. Like, they're not gonna give a shit, to be honest.
so,
And
my
also,
big
there's a
thing
shit
is,
ton of cybernetics and gene stuff that happens here,
yeah.
anyways. So it doesn't.
Okay.
You're gonna run into weirder shit than that. You're gonna run into like people who have spider legs and
Lovely.
shit. So
Revolting.
Yum.
Yeah. So, what are you guys thinking?
Do
Because I'll be
we
honest with you, I'm
want?
thinking, make landfall on a planet, become
But which one?
ISIS.
Not
Okay,
ISIS. I
but
think
the
so.
question is, do we want a highly populated core world where they probably are constantly dealing with like uprisings anyway, and we just
Sure, why
hope
not?
to like find an uprising faction and take it over?
Yeah.
Or do we start on a frontier world, join a gang, beat up the gang leaders, and become gang lords, and then
It become
and then start a galaxy-wide gang war against the Gaians?
Love
I
it.
was thinking frontier world because there's bound to be resources that are being pulled out of that, which would give us um
So you
what's
can do your
what's y'all's definition
communist.
of frontier world?
What's up?
Well, not frontiers in like cowboys, but like frontiers in like it doesn't have a lot of
Yeehaw!
Recently
Yeehaw!
colonized-ish.
Okay,
Well,
no,
like-
a
because
few hundred years.
okay, so if you're talking, so the
Wasn't-
the red planets on the map are the ones that are being colonized or have recently been established
Okay.
as colonies.
Gotcha.
So if that is your example of a frontier world, I'll let you know with the Gaians, those are some of the most militarized areas sometimes
Oh.
because
Never mind.
yeah, they're not going to have a full fucking army there, but they go there, they establish resource control, and they make sure there's martial law and stuff like that because they guarantee the settlement. Because planets like that are investments, so they have to guarantee the investment. So
So,
what do we
it's
know
going
of
to
the
be a lot.
Eldar world?
What's that? Oh, you want to go
God.
to an Eldar world?
Well, what do we know of it?
That's it. Where it's at.
Aye.
So,
Hmm.
quick question about the Eldar world: is it a crone world?
That's all the information the 5-2 have is where
Oh,
it's
okay.
at. Some of this
Fellas,
information they have
I hate to sound
because
like a
they've been
xenophile.
there. Some of it they just have because they've gotten the information from
Okay.
strips.
Fellas,
Gotcha.
I hate to sound
Okay.
like a xenophile,
Lobotomy.
but
It's to go talk
I
to the
feel-
night fears.
I feel like having Eldar support, because who hits faster and harder than the Eldar?
Space Marines.
Me.
Space
Okay,
Marines.
but like who's sneakier than Space Marines and hits as hard and fast?
Raven Guard
The
Space
humans
Marines.
that are alongside the Space
Raven
Marines.
Guard Spaceman. Oh my god.
Okay,
guys.
but who do we care
Love it.
about losing? And
Like who do we care if
Dead
they
silence.
lose,
No,
or like who do we want to lose? Like I need more.
Interesting choice
Okay.
of words here.
All right.
the use
I think it boils
of,
down to who wants to go talk to the Eldar. That's what he's
Yeah.
asking.
If we could open up a communication channel with them and try and like bullshit, like, hey, yeah, listen, we're friends with the Craft World. Back in the Milky Way. We're trying to get back and help them out because they were fighting someone like the Tyranids.
Sure.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
doubt
Yeah.
we even have
Any
to
of you
lie. I doubt we
speak
even have to lie.
Eldari.
I doubt we even have to lie that bad. One, they've been interacting with these folks in this galaxy for this entire time.
And that's
So
been
I
going
have
well
enough
for
to-
them.
Well, I mean, I feel like they at least speak the
Very.
languages.
Wait,
But-
hold on. Wait, they were fucking like ethnically cleansed out of this galaxy, aren't they?
By
Like
the Gaians. Yeah.
Yeah.
the
That's
question
my
is, are the Gaians
Big deal.
actively containing them on that world, like with military patrols and shit?
It's unknown.
All right.
okay. But my
To be
point,
continued.
is that the Eldar already have beef with the Gaians, and we could
Yeah.
use that beef to our advantage to like cause troubles for the Gaians, and
They
then
might even tell us where the fucking ship Webway is.
It's literally only a matter of time until some fucking Eldar Farseer realizes that 400 years in the future, your great grandfather's son's girlfriend's dog owner babysitter's fucking dad is gonna like shoot an Eldari baby in the face.
on accident
And,
during a
like,
skiing incident.
Yeah, and then they all fucking
Right.
slaughter us.
Points
All right,
to
like,
incidents.
so
Actually, they only have about 9 years before the fall of Cadia, and then the whole Eldar relationship
Yeah,
with humans actually kind of improves. So if they can see
yeah,
into the
but
future,
we don't know that.
yeah, no, but I'm
Okay,
just saying.
But the Eldar, so the Eldar Farseer might actually be a bit warm to us, considering they know in like 9 years humanity and Eldar become,
No.
buddies.
They might know because the weave shows them every single conceivable future at the same time.
This happens to be one of them.
So simultaneously, they could be seeing the future in which Cadia falls and Guilliman returns, or they could also be seeing the future in which Abaddon gets absolutely fucking raffle stomped by Hellbark,
Again,
and then the
time.
Imperium throws a giant parade, and then they decide that now that the fucking Eye of Terror is closed because Trajan activated the magical Necron pylons, we need to go hunt all the craft worlds.
Like it.
hey,
So
You
Nikai
forgot about the Tyranids and the Orcs.
and the
Tau.
boys.
upset.
Upset
Upset.
spaghetti.
Seriously though,
I feel
I think starting in a colonized world is probably pretty good. And while the worlds might be militarized and down to martial law, that sort of just tells me that they have a lot of military equipment and a lot of classified information and files that we could learn from if we put
No
our minds
doubt.
right.
What
For sure.
about? Are there any like kind of like Bespin type cities where like Star Bespin Cloud City from Star Wars, where like smugglers and people meet that's not under control of the Ruby Syndicate or Gaia?
You don't have access to
Stop
any
fucking
information like that.
dying, bro.
Bro,
Die one,
just
I
quit.
won't yeah, like you guys
I've been
just.
saying that about Stark this entire time, and he's
I'm
still alive.
sure. I'm sure there are, but you just don't know exactly where. Because like like I said, you're just going off the information the 5-2 has, and for all their smuggling needs and stuff, they mostly would just go through like not the guides, the Ruby Syndicate, to be honest. But they haven't had anything needed really for smuggling or anything for a long time. They've only done it a few times to get agents into Gaian territories.
All right. Why do I feel like no one likes my Eldar plan?
I want to go. I
Because
want to go see the
they're
Eldar.
aliens and I
We
hate
ran
them.
away from some of
Listen,
them.
right? I know I'm a
want
Templar and
them
everything,
to die.
but we
Eldar's
work for
got us
the
into this problem.
Inquisition, right? We got to be fucking flexible with this kind of shit. We can't just go,
Yeah, that's
fuck
what
you,
I'm
you're
saying,
a
yeah.
Xeno heretic and you're gonna fucking die. We need all the help we can get. The Eldari fuckers, they might tell us where the portal is. They might give us some support. They might help us. I mean,
Dane
fine.
is
They might
agreeing with
shoot at
me.
us.
Might.
Dane.
They might, but they also might instantly slaughter all of us.
So
Okay.
might the Gaians or the
Overlord.
Ruby Syndicate.
At
Well, you
least we
know.
could blend in with the Gaians.
Who's to say?
Okay, so, and I don't want to just say this because I don't want to just do the Xenos plan because Stark was eyeing up Eldar babes on that one planet. Oros would say the
Oh.
same thing.
Are you telling me that Oros is eyeing up Xenos babes on a planet?
That's what
No,
I'm hearing.
Oros doesn't eye up anything except toasters. No, but the thing about, well, I mean, with Oros, I mean, all tech priests and Ordo Xenos deal with alien tech, and some of them like it more than others. But wait, hold on, don't you love Eldar? I mean, studying them anyway.
Well, hold on.
No, I study
here's
them
the
to
first
kill
thing.
them.
The first thing, because
The
the thing
first
that's
thing.
been coming up the
Love it.
most, whether you guys addressed it or not, is your lack of knowledge and information. That's it. You are trying to base plans on stuff you don't know. This is all the information we have. This is all we have. This is all we got to work with.
Let's go see the Eldaris.
If you want to go see the Eldar, you can try to convince them to help you with stuff, but you don't know what you're gonna like. What are they gonna help you with? Like, you don't have
They know this
anything.
galaxy better than the 5-2 do.
Yeah, you could get it more information from them, but you got to think, if they're on a back foot like the 5-2 said, why would they help you unless you pay them or give them something? Like, why would they give any information to you unless they benefit from it?
What's in it for
Revenge
them?
against the fuckers who fucking like ethnically cleanse them out of the galaxy almost.
Yeah, they're still already dealing with that, so I don't think, it's one of those things. It's like you're talking about a people that's at the point, they're the same as the 5-2. It's survival. So knowledge is power. So if I have more knowledge than you, I'm not going to give it up for nothing, especially if my people depend on it.
Okay, but they wouldn't be getting nothing for having that information back.
That's
They
what I'm
would
saying.
be
I'm saying, what do
getting an ally.
if that were the case, they would have allied with the 5-2. And this is if there's enough of them there.
If
For all
the
you know,
5
you could go there and there's just a dude, and he's just fishing
Fair enough.
in a pond. It's. But I'm saying if that's how you go about it, because whether or not it's the Eldar, if it's another race of Xenos, if it's another group of humans, if it's feudal people, whatever, you got to think what you can
Yeah.
offer them. If that's the way you're going to go about it, because really, it seems like you have two ways to tackle the galaxy. You either take out everybody in your way and then force the stragglers to work with you, or you make a shit ton of alliances and you forward then it just becomes like the Federation against the Gaians, essentially.
I mean, that's kind of what I'm going for because
Hmm.
I mean, with Nakai's idea of going to these worlds with factories and foundries, whatever the tech priests want to call them, and then creating these religious revolts, religious communism, plus Eldari support, plus support of the 5-2, plus if we can find that webway portal and we can get some support from the Ordo Xenos, we would.
Religious might not be the best approach though, because the Church of Adam
Well,
thing.
Nakai, he's not doing the Emperor religious. He's doing machine.
Deus Mechanicum.
It's
Mechanicum.
It's a direct juxtaposition to the whole like mankind is pure thing, because I mean there's bound to be people who have been like forcibly augmented by some form of authoritarian figure, and if what it boils down to, which is what the sense that I'm getting here is that like cybernetics and like mechanical shit is a sign of status, then it has a little bit of cultural traction to be like, hey, these fucking these fucking guys over here who are
these fucking guys.
rabbits, they're the flesh is
Hobbit
weak,
hobbits. For sure.
Anyways, yeah, kill all your bosses. Like, like that's got some cultural traction to it. Just saying.
Yeah.
You know what sucks, fellas? We don't have a single fellowship person in this entire party, and we all have these fellowship
A
plans.
fellow what?
Yeah, I think we should try and infiltrate the Ruby Syndicate.
I think you have
get message
missed
back.
the Krieger's glaring personality and
Yeah,
my
exactly.
incredibly high
Glaring
intelligence score.
personality. Yeah.
See, I mean,
Well,
I just don't
Dane,
think
out of
we
all the
don't have
groups
the
that would be able to
industrial
recognize
capacity.
you, I think Ruby's Syndicate's probably going to be the one.
Yeah.
If
We
you want
don't.
to infiltrate them, I think
I
the best way out is through a Gaian webway. To be fair,
I think our best bet is just to kill the Ruby Syndicate because they're fucking dickheads.
Well, they are dickheads,
yeah.
but
True.
their time will come, my friend. Don't you worry.
I
I'm
mean,
more of a kill
I have
everybody, but I like what you're doing.
doubt that you guys could go back to that webway planet and you could get someone through the webway. I have no doubt that would happen. But
Yeah.
there's no way that all of you would survive.
But
It's
how
just
well is
not.
it gonna go?
I think maybe like one or two of you would be able to probably get through that webway, but I don't think everybody would come out.
That's a
I just
sacrifice I'm willing to make.
I just think
it is
that we
how it is
need
sometimes.
more of an industrial capacity before we start, doing shit like this.
Well, Nick, you really just need it.
Sure.
One thing the party has to determine is Andromeda a short term or long term? Is Andromeda a campaign, or is it just a short mission stop? Because really, there are direct ways. If you're not worried about the results of what happens to the Chiliad, if you're not worried about what happens in the Andromeda Galaxy, you can fight your way out. You guys know that I don't limit you. There's ways to get out.
Well,
Okay,
the
hold on.
issues that I
I
kind of
want
am concerned about.
Okay, so I want to make completely sure, because in my mind, up until you had literally just said that, I thought your plan was for us to stay here until whatever you had set up was done.
No, my plan is for the party to have a good time. So if you guys are going to have a good time waging war with the Gaians,
Sucking
doing
in
your
fucking
personal
Andromeda.
vendettas on the Ruby Syndicate, discovering new technology and all that shit, then I'm cool with
Gotcha.
it. But if you're like, well, my character would really do this and sacrifice everything to get a message back to Octavian, I'm not going to stop that either. So it's really just, as players, do you guys want to stay in Andromeda and like have the whole story arc and do your personal vendettas, take on a lot of challenges, possibly die, except for Stark,
Possibly
probably die.
Wait a second.
I will if Stark makes it through, I'll kill him. Don't worry.
Yeah, just
Great.
taps
Love
him.
it. 10 out of 10.
Pistol twirl.
Awesome.
Hey, wait a second. I do the pistol twirls for PC kills. I do the pistol twirl for PC kills.
You've been replaced, bud.
I feel like
Stark
we
shoots
sh-
himself in the head and pistol twirls on the way down.
Yeah, because if
Right.
people aren't comfortable with the Andromeda thing, or if they don't think it's going to be like it's you guys didn't sign up for like a bunch of covert stuff, and it's like it looks like that's probably where it's going to lead to if you guys progress, is that there might be a good amount of missions with Space Marines out of armor and having to blend in, and there might be a lot of espionage kind of stuff and rallying the locals to fight for your cause and stuff. So it's like if people aren't prepared for that, I'm not going to force anyone. So
I feel like the best bet for the party would probably be something along the lines of infiltrate Gaia, like get out via a Gaian webway, and then come back with reinforcements and fucking like declare a crusade. I think that's
Yeah,
exactly
but what if we
like,
don't get to come back?
if we
That's-
don't get to come back, then shit. At least the Imperium is aware and can like make attempts
shit.
other ways to, you know.
Well, shit.
As long as we
Well,
don't, as
I
long as we
mean-
don't leave the galaxy and fuck the Imperium here in doing so, then like, I mean, fuck, if it takes fucking 5 or 500 years, the Imperium could potentially get some people here.
Well, and think about it. If we infiltrate it and we leave a lasting cultural movement that, constantly pervades that the Omnissiah is
I
the
think you're just
greatest.
going to piss off the Church of Adam with that, if I'm honest.
Absolutely I am.
I mean,
What
why
part
not,
of
though?
what part
So,
of anything
but-
he says does not sound like that's his goal?
But isn't the
But-
Church of Adam the ones that want to kill our Krieger?
Yes.
Yes.
But here's the thing. Even if only a faction, even if only a small, like, minute amount of the populace becomes so fanatically militarized that they're willing to be an insurgent force in our stead, we would come back to a galaxy that is at its own throat, which is much easier to kill than whatever we've gotten right.
but
Right, the Gaians wouldn't be able to invade if they were busy fighting.
there's an element that has not been determined
themselves.
that I know for a fact your characters would tell themselves. And that is,
up?
if you haven't reported in by now, what is Octavian doing?
I don't know. Probably
a smoke
calling us all
break.
retards and fun.
Yeah.
Pretty sure he's busy making
he said,
Caliburn
"Damn
into a
those fucking
servitor.
idiots."
He knew there was a webway there.
Yeah, exactly.
He knew a lot more than you guys did. He's not a stupid individual.
I'm pretty sure he's sending a Keller Brimbor servitor with a nuke through the webway portal.
As we
Yeah, absolutely. Beep boop beep bop.
Actually,
Yeah.
little do we know, Octavian actually has been planning for this for like 6,000 years because of that robot in his ship, that AI in his ship. And there's
yeah.
I'm not
there's
gonna
a,
lie. I'm not gonna lie.
giant ship with
Once he,
6,000 tons of nuclears on the way.
I'm not gonna lie.
Physics.
Once he lost the first team, it's not unlike him for him to use this moment as justification to get the resources to do a crusade.
Bro, I'm
I missed the
110%
crusade.
down.
Aww.
No, you're the
because
you're
you're talking about. So like if you guys do get back and then you have to be like, hey, this happened. There's a crusade. We would have to have a time skip of like 6 or 7 years because you'd have to go back to Terra and then there'd be
Fine,
explanations.
we'll go to the
There'd be a
Temple of
whole
Time.
thing.
Hell yeah, dude!
If there's
I'm
gonna be a time skip
so
of 6
down.
to 7 years, Stark's getting retired. I'm sorry.
Bro, I'm so
fair.
down, guys.
yeah.
Let's
Yeah.
start a violent
But-
militaristic sect.
But yeah, no, it's
Like it.
Ah!
it's I will
Jeez.
say it's like, yeah, Octavian's not an idiot. So it's once you guys didn't report back, he would have sent somebody. They would have put 2 and 2
Okay.
together. So like what he's doing, I can't tell you. I can't give you word, but there's really a few options. It's kind of
For sure.
learn all you can, start causing ruckus, wait until possible reinforcements, start a war. Do you know there's a handful of options that
More
you
like
can do.
Stark a war, am I right,
Yeah.
fellas? Stark fucking dies. Bellica,
Yeah.
wake up.
No, guys, seriously though, like honestly, I really do think that infiltration and radicalization of the Gaian populace is the key to success here.
And then running away so that Stark can be replaced by Chad Oros, who is much more dangerous in this situation.
Infiltration, evacuation, call reinforcements, time skip, come back in armor of faith and a black
time
sword
skip.
and fucking and fuck some
Exactly.
bitches.
So
That
you
yeah.
mean
sounded like all the things Dane
Here-
wants.
Yep.
So you
Here
mean
is the plan.
nut and go. So the
Yeah.
plan is nut and go.
Not
Yep.
and go.
Shoot and scoot.
I'm pretty sure stealing an STC would be more valuable than starting a religious problem here.
Stealing an SDC would without a doubt drive the entire Imperium into civil war.
Guaranteed.
Just give it to the
Because
Chiliad then.
literally the only thing that keeps the Mechanicum not turning the entire Imperial population into servitors is about 10,000 years of,
Ignorance.
like, okay, maybe we like you guys, and about 11,000 years of, bro, where the fuck is my god? So,
I mean,
yeah.
you haven't thought of the Gaian technology. Like, you're talking about a race of people that have created human compatible technology that doesn't require an
Yeah.
STC anymore. And there are
Gotcha.
people in their culture that can replicate the technology because they understand it. Do you not understand that just the remnants of that, like if you nuked and wiped out 99% of that culture, just the remnants is enough for an entire, multitude of civil wars on Mars. Like,
It sounds like we just need to go kidnap and servitorize Gaian scientists so that they can build
Yeah.
stuff for us.
Ah, say the L word. Say it.
oh
Oh my God.
lobotomize.
Wouldn't we need their brains though?
I-
Question mark.
All right, but so
Maybe.
so going forward, I think to be honest, I don't think this is a moment where thinking ahead's going to benefit. You just don't have enough information. So I think at the moment,
Excuse me. Do you think we think?
I mean,
Let's
you
just go find a
thunked.
guy in
At
Webway.
least you thunked.
Been watching,
Think
but
thunk.
You guys know where the guy in webways are. That's not an issue. You know the location of all the active webways. They're all on the map. But the issue is how to get them, how to get to them.
A shower turn. I'm serious, guys. I think we just get a drop pod and we drop pod assault these motherfuckers, and then we just run into the webway. Easy.
And
as
then
1, 2,
only two of the two of the party survive because everyone else isn't built for fucking.
3. Yeah, and everybody
I
else.
mean,
nice knowing
it'd
you
be
guys.
rough. It'd be rough.
Anyways, I gotta
You
use
got a good death.
Nothing is unwinnable, but it'd be rough. I mean, that's the equivalence of like fucking,
Well, yeah, that's the point, right?
rushing a freaking defended armory on like any other military base. It's pretty.
Yeah,
gotta be
for
tough,
sure.
Tough sell.
Yeah.
But that's up to you guys. I mean,
That's it.
I'm down for whatever, and I can make and prep whatever. This is gonna be the last session for like all this talking, because we did have like 3 or 4 sessions in a row of combat, so I was fine with 2 sessions of nothing but talking. But I do need to know where people are going so I can start fucking making maps. So
That's fine. You're
because
fine.
I'm not one of those people that makes maps for every single fork in the road. I don't. No.
You don't.
That just sounds like you are lazy. Bit.
I have a child.
Stark dies.
Yeah, I already got that one made. Don't worry about that.
There's an entire map just called Stark Die. Like you pull down the map menu from the top of the roll 20 screens, just says Stark dies. Oh,
Checks out.
Yeah, but it's I assume if you're gonna rush the webway, I would assume you're gonna use the 5-2 Chiliad. So it would be a matter of trying to, because if you're planning to rush the webway, it's gonna be an act of war. And yeah, there's no way it's not gonna be seen as the Imperium.
Gotcha.
So either they're gonna help you,
Yeah.
or they're gonna have to stop you. So you'll have to talk with the council and figure that out.
so okay, you don't have to tell me. You just have to tell me that there's a chance, right? Is there a chance that there are Eldar gates that are inactive that could be activated by some big titty elf GFs? Asking for a friend.
I mean, it's not impossible. I mean, nothing's impossible. I mean,
So
there
we're
were
back
only
to talking to the Eldar.
Yup. Let's go.
all right. So you
Okay.
guys, at this time, while the council's talking with Pyzel and everybody, you guys want to, in the midterm, go and
Nikai's
speak
not
with the
here right
Eldar.
now, so
No, I
yeah,
got you.
Nikai's not here right now, so
Yeah,
Because
let's go.
yeah, the council said they're gonna, that they're probably gonna be a few days and stuff, anyways. So it takes you
Right.
about a week to go to the Eldar planet.
Same. Oh,
Um,
okay. Not much, eh?
Yeah, it's not too far away.
I have returned. Have we
So
decided which planet we're invading?
yes, we're talking to the Eldar.
they want to go talk to the Eldari. So yeah,
I'm
all right.
full of physical pain.
You guys and your NPCs, all except Pyzel, who's staying to continue to speak with the council.
Are you sure you want to talk to Eldar? Because I'm really good at burning them.
Yeah, yeah, guys. I'm not gonna lie.
I can talk to them with my bolter.
Good lord.
Fellas. Okay, so Nikai, the whole purpose is that I specifically asked if there is a possibility that there are inactive webway portals that could be activated by Eldari.
I mean,
And he said that there is a chance.
yeah.
Well, I mean, because there's been webway portals that have been activated by non-Eldari, so yeah, why wouldn't there be a chance?
Right. Yeah.
Well, there's a
For sure.
chance that we go to a guy in world and win the fucking lottery. Like.
Oh boy, let's go. What are we waiting
Yeah, I was
for?
say I'm not telling him anything his character wouldn't have already thought, so it's not a big deal.
Hey, there's a chance that I make webway gape out of my own poo, and it just works, and we can get back.
That's
Yeah.
true. That's why Boris
Yeah,
has been
let's do
There's
it
a
keeping it.
again.
statistical likelihood
Okay, I
of
think-
all these things.
Hold on, stop. What
Full
did you
staff,
say?
.exe.
I didn't say anything. Why?
What?
No.
All you heard was
Get it, but-
muffled gas mask noises. You fucking
No, when Kay said I can make a warp gate out of my own poo, and then Alex goes, "Yeah, that's why Boris keeps it," and no one stopped to think about it.
This came up like 3 sessions ago. I don't know where you are.
Yeah, man. Old news.
Boris,
Talking
have
shit
you
to
been-
my boy.
Boris, have you been keeping everyone's poo? Look, he's a poop man. Ah! Just like, he's got like action figures
Yeah.
made out of turds. This one's okay. Been out in
Love
the
it.
This one's
sun.
green.
All right.
Don't ever
So,
change.
you guys get some equipment. You let them know.
Do I get a real gun?
You have a fucking las gun and shit, don't you?
No.
What
I have
real
a
gun?
I have a solid projectile snipper rifle.
What do you want a las gun?
What?
I said a rail
You
gun.
can have-
Oh,
you can
I
have
thought
one
you
of my
said a
3
real
las
gun.
guns.
I'm like, I think a sniper rifle's pretty real.
Do I have a real gun?
Nah, he's
What's the
got the
damage
Nerf
model
gun.
for an airsoft rifle?
I got a ton of flashlights. You can have one of them. I've got like
There you
3.
go. I got a flashlight, got mag light, I got a holster for my holster. It's a great day. Great day.
I have a
love
place
how
to put my
broad it's
penis
like.
in my rifle.
Yep, make sure you get your silencers, your loudners, all your quick loaders, everything. But yeah, so at this time, one of the ships was going to be heading to pick up like some of the equipment from that outpost. So they'll drop you off. You'll be on your own for about like 3 weeks, and then they'll come pick you up.
Oh, okay.
So it's gonna
On
be
our own
like
on the Eldar world. Easy.
I mean, they're obviously going to make sure you're okay for the first like few hours before they leave, because yeah, if you start
Nice.
taking fire immediately, they're going to come help you. But they aren't going to just have one of their 3 ships just stand over an Eldar planet for an entire.
Yeah.
They're gonna
Menacingly.
yeah, it's like that's not worth it. So they'll just provide you with one of their like older class Valkyries, and basically send you to the planet and that. So did
Gotcha.
anyone have any questions for anybody or the council or anything? Or the fucking
Are the
fuck?
I know that our
I forgot what the
I
guy
know
was
that-
called.
I know that our info is like short, but
I
do
know
we
it's-
know what kind of Eldar live on this Eldar world? Like, does this
The Eldar
galaxy have a
kind.
dark? Does this galaxy have a dark Eldar problem, for example?
I mean, no, because the Dark Eldar were direct. Actually, wait a
Correct.
minute, bitch. They might, because
No.
Yeah, that could dramatically change my my
Approach.
my entire idea about
Yeah,
going and
the
visiting Eldar.
5-2 the 5-2 have never been there. It's part of the information that they've gathered. They know there's a planet that's been designated as an Eldar world. That
Fair
was
enough.
it.
Nice
Huh.
start.
See, I want to slaughter. So I'm a really big proponent for the weaponization of entire solar systems,
Agreed.
but you know,
That sounds like a war crime with extra
perhaps
steps.
no. Come on, really, war crime? Please, I'm above that. It's clearly a genocide,
It's
and
clearly a crime against humanity.
Great.
it's not a crime if it's not humanity. Uh, Seriously though, like I want to say, I just
Isn't
don't
it?
see these Eldari people helping us. They've got their own fucking problems to deal with. To them, we're just other fucking bootleg ass Mon Kai who are gonna fucking betray him anyways. And like I
Shown
just
to
don't.
us.
So,
They just don't, yeah, they are.
oh shit,
They
Terry,
just
look,
don't
other
have a
E-peeps
reason.
are coming. Run!
Yeah, they just don't
Terrible.
have a reason to trust us, and I don't think
I
that
see.
they will, and
Not
I'm
with that
worried that
attitude.
we're going to spend the limited amount of time that we have in the system pursuing leads that may not bear fruit, especially when every single moment we have here is another moment that Octavian doesn't know what the fuck is going on and could be making uninformed decisions. And
But
even though
on
he
the
might know,
same hand,
yeah,
we could get to one of those big ass factory worlds and find out that they actually pre-lobotomize all their workers and there's no revolution to start.
true, but at the same time,
Or their
lobotomized
factories are all
workers,
AI and robots.
Said the L word
even
twice there.
better. Yeah,
Said the
then
A
you just
word.
yeah, then you just delete it.
Heresy!
Bro, this
mean,
heresy's
even
gonna make
then,
me bust.
Abominable intelligence.
the physical infrastructure is still there. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
even if it's all run by an abominable intelligence, the physical infrastructure is still there. And better yet, it's automated, which doesn't require people. So I could just enslave like an entire town and then mentally hook them up, and they can become a CPU running all the machines.
So, Eldar or no Eldar?
I mean, I'm voting Eldar. Because while I understand Nakai's
Reservation.
his
I think
hesitations, I also understand that this is a game and Alex isn't just gonna let us dick around and not get anything done.
so. Right.
No,
I
if
think
you guys want to
you're
talk in circles for a whole session, that's fine.
I'd rather not.
I think the guy's onto something. If we were to infiltrate a Gaia world, if we said we wanted to infiltrate one that had a webway, and then we could try and do our things, and if shit hits the fan, we could just make for the webway there.
Okay, but do you guys remember the part where those
He
things
said,
have giant ass super elite power armored units?
maybe,
What?
but giant ass super elite power armored units can probably be distracted pretty quickly if you manufactured civil unrest.
Well,
Hold on,
I
I gotta go
think.
take
Hold
my
on.
dog out really fast.
Yeah, I think that was a little out of context. What are we talking about? The super powered armor units. What are we talking about?
Well, I was talking about the units that have, really advanced power armor, where even if you haywire them, they don't have
Oh
any
well,
negative
that
effects.
was
So
me
my dog
just
really needs to go out, so I'll be
Yeah,
right
go
back.
you go out. But that was me
You talking about your
establishing.
mother?
That was just me establishing that as you progress up the chain of command with the Gaians, they have better equipment, which is kind of a obvious
That's fair.
thing. Yeah, so it's like
Agreed.
people that are that mean and scary are going to be at the top of the food chain guarding the hierarchy of Gaia. So you're not
Yeah,
going to
for sure.
run into any Capitol Palace guard on a random fucking planet.
That's
But
good.
yeah, but I mean, you've seen some of the armory and stuff for the Gaians. Their weapons are a little formidable. Um and they do have some tricks up their sleeves and stuff, but the issue with the webways is that the planets that they're colonizing over there, I told you, is they're very militarized. So some of the most well defended
Yeah.
areas in the galaxy are the webways. So like you're if you charge the Ruby Gate, that's the only one that I know you guys could fight through and possibly get through because the Ruby
Oh,
Syndicate
okay.
is not as
Okay.
militarized as the Gaians.
Yeah,
But that Gaian area, like,
for sure.
unfortunately, you're not. They're aware of the Imperium, and Octavian's aware of the Gaians because he fought them on a planet like that. That the mission report where he lost the first team, those two guys that you guys spoke to,
Right.
they knew of the Gaians. The Gaians had gone through a webway and established a base on a planet in the Imperium, and Octavian took his fleet and waged war with it. And when they
Okay.
blew up the webway that was this big enough for a fleet to go through, it dragged Thaddeus's ship through it, and he thought that everyone on board was dead, but Thaddeus was on Octavian's ship at the time, so he didn't think. He was like, all right, well, that ship's gone, and
Gotcha.
those space marines are dead because that planet blew up. Like, it's fucked, and he thought that was the end of it.
Damn.
Yeah, but yeah, so
Brutal.
really it's just you guys want to go and talk to the Eldar and try to get some information. If you're able to talk to them within a day, you could still get back on the ship and then continue towards the Gaian uh homeworlds and stuff, and then at least you'll be doing the same amount of travel.
Yeah.
Do any of us speak Eldari?
No, I don't believe so.
Oh
I
shit!
reckons Imperium and only the Imperium.
Nakai
Fuck
has
it,
some
I'm
books
for
written
bum
in
rushing
Eldari.
the Ruby Gate.
Yeah, I have some books.
Dan, you want to bum rush the Ruby Gate, you said?
I mean,
All
shit.
aboard.
Guys, genuinely though, I believe like with better industrialization, we could bum rush the Ruby Gate.
See, I was for bum rushing the Ruby Gate when Ruby was still there. Like, freaking kill her ass too.
Proud of you. If I could jerk you off right now, I would.
Send it through an email.
No.
Great.
See, I'm actually better with us, learning what each other's abilities are, because you all like gave up your weapons in the face of freaking heretics.
That's because I didn't
Yeah.
want to die.
Hey, that was
Talk
an
about
option. That was an option.
We
I
could
mean,
have jumped back through the gate and killed the freaking orcs. It would have sucked, but we could have done it.
you
Didn't they
say that
turn
every
the
time,
third-
but you couldn't. They
Who's
had
to
they
say?
had a shield over the webway that was frying
Yeah.
anything that stepped through it.
We did that
Yeah.
after we saw them.
You did that after you guys came through. They turned that on when they told you to step forward.
That thingy.
Yeah, so I
Alright.
mean, it's like, it could have been a possibility. Yeah, you would have had to have fight. A lot of people would have died, and then people would have been able to get back through the webway, hopefully. Because if at the end of that fight you didn't get back through the webway, they would have just shot you from orbit.
Yeah, that's what I expected.
But I mean, that's the choices. Because like, also, you guys never had to step through the webway to begin with. You could have fought through the orcs from the get go. Because to be honest, you guys massacred the Eldar. And you guys
That's
had
true.
100 orcs down to 70. And also
Yeah.
Nakai and fucking Stark killed like 170 PDF forces when you guys fought that one Baneblade. So you have fought far
Good
more massive forces and worse
but
shit.
that was Laz Cannon. That was Laz Cannon, Nakai.
Well, I still had the missile launcher.
Yeah, and Octavius, I mean, he was just downing like 10 or 15 people around.
Daka, fucking Daka.
Yeah.
So
But
actually, I had an idea
What?
while I was out in the cold taking care of the dogs. Why would we put ourselves into the situation of social encounters? Shiver with me, everybody. When we can just do some Navy SEAL, MARSOC type shit and identify key targets and blow shit up and cripple the
Sure.
Giants.
True.
Good question.
We could also do some Green Beret type shit where we
What's your
we
fellowship,
train
Nakai?
I don't need fellowship if I induct them all into the cult mechanicum.
What's your fellowship? Because mine's 27.
I don't know. Yours is probably more than mine, though. Honestly, unironic.
Mine's I think mid-30s, but I wouldn't really brag about that.
I think that might be the highest, unless Dane
That's
has higher.
embarrassing, I gotta say.
Oh wait, no,
No.
Well,
No.
if immediate escape at high risk is not what we're choosing, because it's if you want to find the Ruby and you want to find Apophis, you want to find the people from the Ruby Syndicate and kill them and get revenge, you got to find them. And
Right.
Yeah.
We don't want to do the fucking quick This isn't a quickie for this
I mean, it'd
galaxy.
be a pretty good fight though. I'm gonna be honest.
Oh, for sure.
It'd be great.
For sure.
Um.
Yeah, I think it'd be bonkers.
All right. So as
Bonkers.
of
More like
right
poggers.
now, you can go and try to find something on the Eldar planet, possibly speak with someone, and then
Right, because we need to have something to do while.
as long as you do it within a day, you can get back
Yeah.
on that ship and continue to the most forward outpost of the current Imperium. So from there, you can decide to press forward and meet with some agents from the 5-2 that are already on a Gaian world. That would be the one that's labeled the Boston Regent. So
Right.
there
Boston.
are already 5-2 agents there. So you could go there and decide to set up home there for a time being, or use them and get information to proceed to another world. But I think as of right now, that's a pretty decent. At least you can try to go talk with the Eldar, I guess, and then go to the forward outpost, and then decide from there.
Yeah.
So with that, you'll let them know. You'll get on the ship. It takes you guys about a week. In the meantime, you're, chilling out, doing training, whatever you want to do, cleaning your weapons and such.
Vibing.
Yep, just vibing.
Vibing.
Great.
Illegal levels of
Untold
vibe.
amounts of vibery.
So as you come within orbit, you know, the ship lets you know that they don't detect any, defenses around the planet. There's no ships. It does say that there's a significant amount of debris in orbit, so
Makes sense.
the pilots are going to make sure that they plot their course correctly when they bring in the Valkyrie. But as of right now, they're not detecting anything. The scans of the planet that they have, uh, you know, detect certain life forms and such, but they could be anything from local wildlife to a few individuals. But there's definitely
Yeah.
not any sizable densities of population or anything like that. So are you guys want to go ahead and head to the surface? Is there any particular area you're aiming for?
So we don't see any like the Auspex doesn't read any like population centers or anything, I assume.
Nothing crazy. You guys would see the footage like from orbit, so it seems like there are still like in some areas on the hemisphere, there's still like some massive fires where orbital strikes had to you can tell just from experience. It's like, okay, so orbital strikes were hitting this planet, and
Oh, okay.
they've destroyed some cities, and there's still like forests and stuff that have been burning probably for like years now.
Jeez.
Very, very Australian. I say we go somewhere that's not on fire, preferably.
Land never quitter.
Preferably. Sounds like a quitter.
All right, so yeah, you guys just kind of let the pilots know that you're going to land near one of the where one of the population areas were. So you guys come down. The door opens. Everybody starts spreading out. Um, at this time, you have the whole squad with you. So I mean, basically, you're missing everybody but Pizel. So Boris is just walking around taking a look. He's got his Auspex scanner up. Oaken them would start spreading out. At this time, yeah, you would see like ash and debris and stuff like that falling from the sky. It's obviously like fires have been going for a long time, and as you would look around, you would see signs of combat. So like you'd see like some dead Eldar like troopers and stuff like that, and you would see like
Dude, fuck them.
Eldar crafted like buildings and such that have been like split open and burned, and you would
Do
see
they
a
still
few
have cell
Gaians.
phones?
The cell phones.
No, soul stones.
Oh, I was like cell phones.
Because I mean,
Yeah,
like,
man.
if we're
Don't your
passing
elders
dead
have cell
Eldari,
phones?
like if we can gather their soul stones, when we see one, we'll be like, hey, listen, we gathered these from your dead friends. You might want them.
Yeah.
You
Well,
know,
would we know
if
about
you
those?
see
Good
like
job.
if you see like a warp spider or something like that with the soul stone, like you can tell that they've been targeted. So like most of them, you can see if they didn't explode, they've been like slagged by plasma fire.
Cool.
Ooh, that's
You pick up the ones that you see that look to be the most intact, but to be honest, you've seen them when you fought the Eldar in combat not too long ago, so you know what they look like when they're operating, and none of them
Fair.
really seem to be that way. It looks
I
like
mean, would we? How many of us would know about soul stones?
well, I mean, the Space Marines most definitely. The rest of you guys would probably have to. Actually, I don't know if you
Ask very
would.
nicely.
You could
I have
roll
forbidden
like a
mercy, man.
lore for like maybe war,
Well,
maybe
functional, non-functional, I will
have
attempt to collect the one or as
the
many as
best
I
looking
can
ones.
find.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the best looking
as
one.
as a token to at least open diplomatic
Eh,
fucking negotiations.
he's
you
not
know?
picking up soulstone dust, but he's gonna pick up at least some that look decent. I guess
Ooh, a
Some
piece
that
of
are like
candy.
mostly intact.
Yeah.
brings you your dead dog. I saw someone run him over, and I just wanted to say I'm gonna be your friend.
No.
um,
Doodle bud.
It wasn't me. I didn't run over your dog.
That'd be fucking horrible if I got the wrong house, wouldn't it?
but yeah, like
Again.
Letter, he was your pilot, so he goes, Lieutenant, do you want me to stay with the ship, or are we locking her up and moving out?
Stay with the ship.
All right,
Absolutely stay with the ship.
Radio check every half an hour.
was understood. Marcus just goes, "Sir, do you want to leave? You want to leave the big boy with him so he doesn't wander off?" He's talking about Oak, the ogre.
Oh,
I assumed that he
Right.
wasn't talking about Boris.
I mean, I was
I mean-
talking about Boris.
Boris just waddles off.
Yeah, no, well, I mean, the second he came off the ship, Boris had his auspex going, and you see he's been wandering off like
Oh, yeah, I
not
know.
far. He's
But
like
he's also
still within
not-
line of sight, but he hasn't stopped moving. He just keeps wandering.
So, was Oak scared of the inside of the Valkyrie at all?
Yeah, he's stressed out, but Marcus just kind of keeps feeding him food cubes, so he's pretty good on the Valkyrie now.
Food cubes. He's like a fucking dog, bro.
Hey, man,
Jesus.
What a Scooby
it's
snack.
what it is, man. He's also
Oh,
real
I
big.
want a Boris.
What
So,
breed
Give
of
him his
dog
Scooby
is our
snacks.
Ogren?
He's a golden retriever.
Yeah, he is.
That's great.
All right, so yeah, we'll leave Oak and Letter with the Valkyrie, and they'll keep an eye out, and
Yeah.
radio in. As you guys start spreading out, Ordo just starts moving through like the husks of the building and checking them. Are you guys just all kind of wandering in the direction that Boris is going, or are you spreading out?
I say
I
we
would try and
spread
catch
out
up
a
to
little
Boris.
bit, but
Okay.
I feel like we should follow Auspex Boy.
Yeah, as you catch up to him, Dane, he's just messing with it, the auspex, and goes, detecting something. Trying to find out
Signs
what it
of
is.
life.
Goes, Dane,
It's your mom.
Yes, brother.
the tactics they use, I don't think they're correct. This wasn't much of a battle. Doesn't look like it.
You mean
Yeah, like
slaughter of civilians?
yeah, after a while, you guys would have noticed. It's like you see, like it's like you've seen war on planet. Like you guys are veterans, every single one of you. So you've seen stuff like this before. So it's like you see,
like more
oh,
genocide
that's a
than war.
defensive. Yeah, it's like, oh, there's a defended position. The Eldar lost.
Okay,
there's
this-
some Gaians dead.
Yeah.
Hmm.
This
You would
very
also
clearly
start-
looks like a defendable location in which an
Yeah,
individual
it's like,
was
okay.
holding at one time.
Yeah, it's like, okay, they were defending that intersection. They lost. Okay. It's like stuff like that doesn't bother you. But when you start seeing, okay, they were defending this location because that is an obvious shelter for civilians, and then you look inside and you see the civilians are still there. So,
Dead.
yeah, like they didn't get out.
Nah, civilians have been there so long.
Scorched earth to the max.
So it's
Was that
like,
was that
and
a
it's
genocide,
like,
brother?
yeah, it's like this is something like you guys haven't seen stuff on this level since like the Crusades. Like it's very very rarely, like the Emperor did stuff like this when he met an enemy that was like so dangerous. But this is like almost on the levels of like chaos
Overkill.
and stuff. But it's like it's like chaos does it for their own sick reason. Orcs do it for their own reason. Tyranids do it for their own reason. But this seems senseless. Humans don't benefit from you know what I'm saying? Like it doesn't make
Mhm.
sense.
Yeah.
And
There's
it's
nothing really gained.
yeah, it's like you're just wasting resources, and it's like this is shit that would happen in like ancient human history. Like it doesn't make sense. So it's like, and like as you go through, it's like you see there's like areas where people defended. You even get to areas where you see that these Eldar had obviously like laid down their weapons, and they still were shot. Like it's just you're like
Oh, okay.
it's like it's strange because it's like you've seen stuff like this in the Imperium, but not to this level. Like
Yeah.
it's like these people came here with a mission, and the mission
Mm.
was all of them.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
See,
so,
Guide
I think
show
the-
no
I think-
mercy.
I think the thing that Stark is most concerned about is the fact that like the Gaians would probably do this to to the Imperium as well.
Yeah.
Which I mean, like, of course, Xenos races that invade do it all the time.
Yeah.
But like, still, it's
True.
human on human. I mean, Stark
Not
doesn't like
human.
the
They're
idea of
fucking Eldars. I don't care. Fuck them. I kill them myself. I give less of a fuck.
well, no,
Right,
it's
then.
more of it's not who
when the
it's not
Gaians
even
come
necessarily
to.
who it was done to. It was the
It's the fact that they do
methodic
it,
and
yeah.
the accuracy. Like I the whole process of like you treat everyone, you treat the race as a
Oh,
combatant is like
yes.
rough, because then that means that like they might not be coming to the Imperium to conquer and take over. They might just be coming to wipe it clean.
Hey guys.
It's like
Yeah.
you're not from Andromeda, blah. But anyways, and to be
What's
honest,
up?
that could have been because maybe who the fuck knows? Maybe the war was rough and this was the orders of one general. Who knows? But
Who's to say?
yeah, who's to say? But as you guys are proceeding, Boris actually gets something on the auspex. Um, brother, detecting movement, and he just goes over the Vox. All Imperial forces, we have movement to the north, 175 meters.
Stark's gonna look down his scope.
Between like Boris just kind of takes cover for a second and signals to you, Dane, to like kind of take cover as well.
Yep.
You guys are kind of looking off in the direction, but you're not able to see anything yet. He just detects it, and he just kind of gestures that he wants to wait for everyone else to catch up. Stark, you weren't that far behind, but you take a look through your scope, and you are seeing some movement through the rubble, but you're not sure what it is.
That seems un-Eldar like that they'd let a normal human, even with a scope, see them.
Yeah,
I mean,
but
it is almost
this
200
will be
meters
no
away. They
warrior.
could be unaware of Boris at the moment.
That's
Hmm.
fair.
Perhaps
Stark,
they are an untrained civilian survivor.
Stark is going to he's going to crouch. He's going to make it clear that he's not moving. He's going to keep his eye open on that side.
Okay.
He's going to drop back onto one knee in that kind of like alternative firing position where he rests the rifle on a raised knee and just kind of look.
Chazov just nudges you and he goes, "Do you want
Back in
me
a second.
to? You want me to push up?"
Yeah, you can go ahead. He's just really short about it.
You see him signal towards Marcus and Ordo, and they just like shift to the right side of the road and start booking it. They try to stay as quiet as they can, but they're going for speed, just trying to move up to Boris and Dane. At this time, the medics, Donald and Ludovicus, they're kind of hovering
God, I'm
around.
glad Donald's still around.
He's
Maybe that's
hovering
bad.
around Jacob and Kathor. So yeah, as Dane, you would hear the hurried footsteps as you look back and see like Marcus, Ordo, and Chazov like coming up to you. Boris would just like nod to them and start pointing out the area with the rubble. Because well, Dane,
Do you want a stealth check, or does it not matter?
nah, not at this moment. It depends on what they're gonna do next. Boris is gonna ask Dane, if you want to rush him with surprise, or do you want to approach with stealth? Because he's down
Wait,
for whatever.
I'm back. What's going on?
So Kathor,
we have
you're back with
yeah,
the two medics and Jacob and Nakai
Okay,
and Stark.
gotcha.
So you guys are about like
All right.
175 meters back from the target.
I'll verify.
Oh, okay.
This is unidentified, correct?
Yeah. So far, Boris detected movement with the auspex, and Stark visually confirmed it with his scope
Alright.
that there's something moving.
We've no
in the
fucking
rubble.
clue who this is. Let's charge with the element of surprise.
All right.
If we're here for a peaceful element, maybe charging is not the best idea, Dane.
Yeah, this might not be an elder.
I mean, just don't shoot him, I guess.
Yeah, just don't pull the trigger.
Maybe
Exactly.
move forward with
Mm-hmm.
what's the word I'm looking for?
Move forward. Okay, I'll light my jump pack and I'll dash forward.
Yeah, that works. He's
You're
gonna
not
be
very
able
good at social encounters, are you?
to...
What are you
He's gonna-
talking about?
He's gonna be able to cover that distance pretty well. I don't know. Is that what you want to do? Do you want to jump back over into the rubble, or do you want to just slowly approach, as Stark was saying?
I mean, if he wants to. I mean, let me try it. Let me try a stealth roll up. All right.
All right.
All
Go
right.
ahead.
We don't even have to sneak. It's just like
Well,
if we
I
just
kinda
move
do.
at a steady pace.
You can hide yourself. I'm a space marine. I'm in armor. I'm gonna need to at least roll a stealth.
No, I'm saying that stealth might not be necessary because if it's
Oh.
Eldar that allow me to see them, like Nakai said, they're probably not like warp spiders or some shit.
Alright, then let's just walk up.
Boris just like shrugs his shoulders and clambers over the pile of rubble and starts
Fuck it.
walking down the street. Just fucking whatever. Those Emperor with his guided light protect me from the hail of fire that I am going to ensue.
Alright, tell me about it. At least I've put a jump pack to get out.
Chazov and
Yeah.
them is just like goes, all right, fleshy ones, step forward and use the big armored men as shields. I mean, guide through their walking path as they protect us from the enemy's fire.
I will gesture to my jump pack. If we get shot at, I am lighting this thing and I am leaving. Standing behind me is just a quick way to get hot.
The Boris is big
Dude.
enough for three of us, my lord.
Got him. Got him.
Great.
Boris just keeps moving. He's just not even acknowledging it. But as you guys progress, yeah, the movement in the rubble
Can't
becomes
believe
more
they body
clear.
shamed Boris.
He's a large tech marine boy. He's
He's
big
thick.
boned.
Big
Big
boned.
boys.
But the rebel
Great.
moves more, and the first thing you see like fall out of the rubble, like obviously they were like clambering on something trying to reach something, and you see this small little girl like just clamber down and fall and hurt. Chazov and Ordo and Marcus like had instantly like snapped to and aimed, and Boris just threw up his hand. Because
Yeah. How
stand
far
down.
away?
I don't believe she will overwhelm you, guardsmen.
Got him.
Are you sure about
Great.
that, Boris? I've seen them fight.
To be honest, I'm not
Dicey,
sure at
dicey.
all entirely. I've never fought an Eldar woman, let alone a child woman. They could be the fiercest thing in the galaxy for all I'm aware.
A child woman.
Yes, I wish there was a word for child woman.
On Boris's eyes.
Yeah.
It's all ones and
That
zeros
sounds like
there, man.
No, you keep telling me this Boris guy is not an ogre in power armor, but I've listened to his words.
Hey, he's
Yeah,
a Templar.
man.
He's got a free
Man,
pass, okay?
he's not the smartest. He liked one thing, make things go boom, and he couldn't be a specialist in the explosives because they said they don't have a unit for that. So
Aw.
he had to be a tech marines. Bullshit.
That
It's
bit.
bullshit. I
This is
hate this.
Great.
This is gay. I hate the Black Templars.
Yeah,
Aw.
God. I'd rather be committing so much heresy right now, dude.
So yeah, Dane, you see a little girl fall. Boris stops everyone. What's the plan here?
I
Not
will-
shoot her. That's the big plan for right now.
I mean, I'd be down to shoot her.
Fuck, I guess
Nikai,
I'll
this is
try
why you-
and speak to
So
her.
we came here to talk to her to talk with her guns. Is
I'm
that
sure
what I'm
she's
hearing?
got a fleet or something, right? She could be a great help.
Do
yeah.
any of you guys speak Eldari? Like,
Hell not, yeah.
Okay, but
And we
there's
don't have a elucidator with us. I don't think.
Hello,
but
are
there,
you armed?
I speak the language
you-
of Xenos. It's called burn them.
Quiet you.
Hashtag flammable.
Boris is speaking. Boris is speaking.
Are you
Let's see what
armed?
kind of charming things he says.
You see the little girl like sit up and then like look at her elbow that's all jacked up and just start crying.
I'll point out.
I think it's hurt itself.
I'll walk over and pick it up.
So
Everything is okay.
as you're proceeding, Boris is like stepping with you, and the guardsmen spread out a little bit, but they keep moving forward. Chazov is just feeding this back through the Vox link because we have a Eldar child here that's hurt herself. I guess we're gonna proceed to provide medical treatment. If you guys want to
I
get
mean-
away in
Awareness.
position, that would be
Yeah, can I crack out my Auspex cybernetic and do an awareness to make sure
Go ahead.
there's nothing super sketch going on?
I mean,
Yeah, I
when,
would like Stark to make sure nothing's sneaking up on the boys.
Right, so
when,
Listen,
when,
you guys.
when a Grox
Oh, this is
loses a limb, you just put it out of its misery. Like, I mean, what's the difference
shoot
here?
the
Yeah.
child.
See,
She-
this is why you're not allowed near the child.
She scraped her
You know-
elbow. She's dead to
Do
us.
you
You know-
guys have any idea? This
you-
is like a perfect biological vivisection right here.
I
Like, you
will.
guys are
Okay,
Is it-
Nikai,
Xenos.
what's your head toughness? Just asking for a friend.
Fuck that mean?
Say some silly shit again.
I'm actually not sure. I don't know where my
So,
character sheet is at.
K-Thor,
I'm on
picking
Nikai's
up.
side. Let's 8 AP to your head, buddy.
So, K-Thor, you're picking up like probably 14 other movements.
14 other movements?
Yeah, there's seems to be 3 or 4 behind her in the rubble, and it seems to be about 12 more that are scattered throughout the area.
What does Stark see?
Fire team
Yeah, I'm-
Epsilon, we are picking up a good dozen or so other pings on the Auspexes here.
hey,
Be
Alex.
advised.
Boris just goes, understood, using the child as a shield if they progress further.
Jesus Christ.
Yup.
I mean,
Hey,
yeah.
Alex.
What?
I can't find my character sheet.
It's under Andromeda. He moved it all. It'll
In
be
response to that, I will click over the Vox and
The
say,
Geno
remember,
52 Chiliad.
don't
Ah.
open fire unless fired upon. We want
Yes,
to
we'll
talk.
see if we can do
Boris
that
is
better
like,
than
I agree
that
with
last time.
I agree with that.
Thank you, Lord Dane. Stark will actually remark over the radio.
Yeah, Stark, you're seeing some movement. You see at least 3 individuals to your left, real close. They're probably 3 floors above you. You catch their movement out of the corner of your eye, and they
Am
seem
I
to
with
be
the
wearing
party?
Eldar armor.
I thought I was way back.
Yeah,
Yeah, Stark is going to report that 3 above, armored. Though he is going to remark they're not moving nearly as sneaky as if they don't belong in that armor.
Let's call out. Hello? Is anyone there? We found a child. She seems to be hurt.
you just hear like Boris like unhook his like bolter from like his rear, like it was attached to like his lower back, and you just hear him like pull it out, and then just check the chamber, and then you know when you hear the like obvious metal like, and you look back at him like what the fuck, and he just shrugs, like
Yeah.
might have to
sure.
shoot
Sure.
things.
Bro, you're
Yeah.
not going to shoot the kid, are you?
Oh god.
I mean, not if she becomes non-hostile, then no.
I mean, I know we
Wait,
said
hold
to
on.
not be
If
unclean,
she
but
becomes
it's not
not
that.
hostile,
Isn't she already non-hostile?
I
The kid
only
crying
shoot
is not-
civilians.
He goes,
Yeah,
I
right.
do apologize, but on a mission before, did we not have one of our own destroyed by a civilian woman? Well, almost. I think he survived the encounter.
Very true, but this one doesn't seem to be carrying any bombs.
Are you
She
carrying
also
any
seemed
bombs?
to
She just
be.
like starts crying the second Boris speaks out loud.
I You've upset her. Come on, fuck's sake, Boris.
I wish I could see this. Like, I'm just imagining this scene as a painting. Boris is standing there with a boulder, and Dane's got a Eldar child in his hands, yelling, "You upset her!"
So there is movement to your left, Dane, as you see like just this individual, some guy, looks way out of place. Just in a nice white suit. Just looks like he
Oh,
has some
okay.
form of like it seems like guy in technology. I mean, you're not really aware of all of it, but it like, it's definitely not Imperial and it doesn't
Guy
look
in a white
Xenos.
suit. Was this
Yeah.
Boss Hog?
Boss Hog.
It's Doug. It's Doug Dimmadome.
Doug Dimmadome, owner of the Dumpstail Doug Dimmadome.
Yeah, but he
Does he
steps
look
forward.
Eldari?
Hello?
Yeah, looks human as
Do you
far as
speak
he can tell.
Gothic?
Because I can have been known to on occasion, so it has been a long time.
Is this your child?
No, it is not. But if it keeps her safe, I will claim her as my own.
Well, we have no intention of harming her. Looks at Boris.
He's just looking up.
Great.
Mikai, did you just hear them say they have no intention of harming a Xeno? Like, what are
Yeah, I did.
Hey, it's a child. It's
I did.
dishonorable to kill the child, alright?
All right, you know what?
It's
Yeah,
a child.
you
It's
go
not
tell the
even a
Black Templar
person.
that you go tell the Black Templar he's a heretic. I dare you, Kay.
I would
Say that to his
lobotomize
face.
Come and call me a
200
fucking heretic.
I would
Already swore to
lobotomize 250,000 children if I knew that it could get me like even the smallest little fragment of political advantage.
Don't let me
when-
catch you doing it.
He's like
All
old
right, fine.
Roman.
Fucking dishonorable
He's like,
sunshine.
I will grab a baby by the ankles, smack him against the wall. Political game, man. That's it. That's Roman
Yeah, I
shit.
don't
That's
even
like the
care.
Romans
Yeah, I don't
would
even
do.
care.
Stark is going to pop up over the mic, and he's going to ask, like, should he move up? Because
For
I don't know.
at this point in time, I would probably I mean, it's not going to make much of a difference.
I
Otherwise,
would ask.
if shots start popping off, you're just going to get jumped by yourself.
Hey, that worked okay last time.
And with Chazov there.
Hey, you don't know if I grabbed Wrestler and Rabbit Punch in the meantime.
Oh shit.
Stark might be a mean motherfucker in melee now.
There you
Maybe.
go.
He isn't,
So,
but he could be.
Proceeds to look
He
at
could
character
be.
sheet. You're a liar.
Great.
I said you don't know if I grabbed it yet.
You're a dirt boy.
Okay, so you guys all just kind of move up to catch up with Dane and Boris and them.
Yeah.
I'm
will
just
gently jog.
standing in the open, like I don't even fucking care. I'm just vibing.
So you
Yeah,
guys,
whilst they're moving up.
yeah, you guys all
I
kind
will,
of get there. Yeah, you at this point you would see, you start seeing that there's civilians like mixed into the rubble, and you see there's like Eldar troops like up on the rooftops and such. You can tell by their gear that they've probably been here a while. Like, you can see that their
Oh,
gear's like
great.
mismanaged and stuff.
Stark, we walked into Space Fallujah. Thanks you.
Woo. Alright, so,
Okay,
we came
no
here
US
looking
support.
for diplomacy. And we would like to talk to you. And whoever survived.
Well, I am open for discussion, and as you can see, as far as the Eldari go, they're survivors. There are some more scattered amongst the planet, but as you can see, they have no ships available. They won't be leaving anytime soon.
Fair enough. It is knowledge we seek. Knowledge of this strange galaxy and the locations of certain assets.
Well, let us step inside, and we'll discuss it further.
I assume by this point Stark's already caught up.
Yeah.
Yeah, Stark's gonna sling his rifle. By the way, just by the way that no one started shooting, he's just gonna assume an hostile intent. Stark's a bleeding heart as far as it goes for Imperium. Which is funny considering that Stark was the guy that shot that completely perfectly fine civilian dude.
Dude, there is no such thing as
Things
perfectly
happen.
fine civilians, all right? You fucking kill them all and then you ask questions later, okay?
I'm with the
Okay,
barbecue or
six
the
civilians.
lobotomize.
Exactly.
Civilians.
So yeah, you guys proceed underground, and it's like obviously they had some like old bunker system that they're living in now. And as you know, they lead you to a nice
Bunker.
open
I
area.
hardly knew her.
They lead you to a nice open area where you know, there's tables and chairs and stuff like that, and the gentleman sits down and shows you guys to have a seat and stuff. He goes, "So, I am the representative of these Eldari people. They've been discussing with me, and I've been helping them out of my good nature. What is it that I can benefit you with?"
Stark's gonna look at him kind of confused. You don't look Eldari.
No, you're a very observant individual. I guess, as he looks at your equipment, some sort of marksman. Goes, but yes, my ears are not pointed, and I am not Eldari. So,
Are you
What are
Gaian
ya?
then?
no.
Kathor, do you have a mouthful of food? Because
Maybe.
it's just not.
Like,
Goes,
you,
no, I'm not
Motion.
Gaian.
All those mechadendrites in my mouth.
I'm sorry. Wait, what?
He goes, no, I am not of the Gaian Empire, or the Gaian sovereignty. He goes, well, you seem to be asking a lot of questions of my presence and who I am, but why are you here and what can I help you with?
Okay, so. Oh, shoot. Stark doesn't have a helmet. He can't just mic or be like, are we just going to tell him the truth, fellas?
Just tell him the truth.
Sure.
Yeah.
Honestly, we
Okay,
have
yeah. I
zero
suppose.
things.
Yeah.
Yeah, I suppose there's zero reason to
Do it.
lie.
Got nothing to lose.
Yeah. We are
Although-
looking.
Out of character, we could try and bullshit that like we were allied with the craft world and
No.
like fighting
'Cause
to help.
If these Eldari have any memory of
Oh, yeah.
having traveled to the Milky Way, they're going to see that cross, Dane. And they're going to
Yeah,
remember
nah.
that cross.
Cool.
um, Stark is just going to tell him, like, we're looking for Eldar webway portals, and we are enemies of the Gaians.
Goes, oh, well, I can help you with a lot of information that'll be able to assist you. It will come at a price because I don't do anything for free, just like everybody else in this galaxy. Goes, but
So much for his
where
good
are you
nature.
from?
Stark will kind of. I assume that Stark is sitting. Stark is going to kind of lean
We
forward.
are from another galaxy.
He's from. He's just going to say he's from Iberia. I don't actually have the galactic system that Iberia is in, but he's just going to say that system, Milky Way.
Ah, then you are. I'm going to assume by
From
the
home.
equipment you have and the training that you possess, judging by how you approached us, you are under the service of the quote unquote emperor of mankind.
Goddamn right.
Yes.
You're
So-
right, bitch.
Yeah.
How
It's pronounced
is
Omnisci, you fucking loser.
how is
And then a
your
whole civil
favored
war
and
starts
beloved
in from-
emperor handling himself these days?
Well,
He is the light that guides our Imperium, as he was 10,000 years before.
Is
And
he,
he has
still
become a
continuing his
spiritual-
crusades?
We
No.
He's
continue
become
our
a
crusades in
spiritual
his
ad-
name.
Yeah, he's become a spiritual advisor. Let's put it like that. All right. Like,
He seems
Yeah,
confused.
actually-
He's like, explain, what is his physical state in your Imperium?
would Stark know? That
I
the
mean,
Emperor
yeah,
Space
is-
everyone would
Marines
know.
definitely would. I mean,
The
humans
Emperor is
definitely would.
entombed upon the Golden Throne on Terra after
The fact
a
that the emperor died for man is like the single greatest selling
After a-
point for the ecclesiarchy.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Very fair.
I mean, he's not
After
dead. He's just asking what
sacrificing
his physical
himself for us.
status is.
The Emperor.
he's entombed
yeah,
on the
he's
Golden
entombed.
Throne. He's not too good.
He's He's the golden vegetable right now. Stark dies. He dies of a
He's-
heart attack from his own heresy.
You see the guy, like, he looked like actually, like, genuinely, like, he was like, wasn't expecting that. He goes, huh. How did he come to this sacrifice of his physical form like this? What
Now,
what
would
brought it
Stark
about?
know about the Horus heresy?
No, you would not.
The arch traitor Horus and the great fight against the arch nemesis is also one of the greatest selling points of the ecclesiarchy. You wouldn't know
Yeah, but-
exactly what happened, but you
but,
would be
yeah.
very familiar with the thrice cursed war master.
Let's just go with he was betrayed by his
Don't say
most
his son.
favorite son.
No. Now Stark's gonna get executed for knowing too much about Chaos Space Marines. God
Got
damn
his
it,
ass
Dane.
Well, everybody knows. Everybody knows that Horus betrayed the Emperor, but not
You-
very many people know that Chaos was involved with it.
That's
you
fair.
you see, like you tell me like he died from his favorite son. You see he actually like cracks a smile and kind of chuckles for a moment. He goes, "Isn't that just how it is?" I'm sure that's probably not what his goal was in mind when he created those people.
I'm willing to bet that it was not.
Stark's gonna like look confused. He's like,
You smile at our emperor's demise.
Stark's like, I
Mm.
wouldn't expect my son to kill me. Stark
'Cause
with his
no
12
one
kids back home.
no one expects it, but unfortunately, when you create a family or a relationship in a power dynamic such as that, unfortunately, it just happens. And do not laugh at the individuals per se, not your emperor. I laugh more at the fact that no matter how powerful an individual is, humanity will still show his flaws, and it does unfortunately cause many people grief. But who's to say you can blame your emperor for that? Loving one son to the point where you didn't want to just decapitate him for showing signs of wanting more power.
Right. Let's move on, shall we?
Yes.
So,
What is the payment that I
ship webway
receive
gates.
for the information that I'm going to give?
Well, it depends.
What
if you
payment
could,
are you requesting?
What would you like?
These Eldari are stranded. I want them off this planet.
How many are there?
Give or take
At least
30,000.
Okay, all right.
Give
Well,
or
that's
take
awesome.
30,000, so we could fit them on a frigate or a cruiser.
Yeah.
Nikai, how many lobotomy toolkits you got? 30,000.
Shh, don't fucking say the L word. Put something in the swear jar.
Because
Uh,
whatever your goals are, you know, whatever's driving you, it doesn't matter. These individuals have their own representation. They have their own leadership. I would hope that you would just come to terms with them and work out an agreement, whether it's leaving them on another planet or providing for them until they can assist you. But
I mean,
who the,
you got a ship,
first off,
and they probably know
who the
where
fuck
webway
is this guy? Why is Doug Dimmadome here? What is his allegiance to the Eldari? Like, it makes like, how does he fucking know High
What's
Gothic?
going on?
Like,
What?
like,
How does he know about the Crusades?
yeah,
The
a good
Great
question.
Crusades.
So, yeah.
We have a ship. He has a ton of Eldari,
I have
and
a jar
Eldari
of dirt.
they are.
We are
You gotta
on
try
not.
that,
Darth
dude.
How
Okay, we
quickly,
are not killing the Eldari.
how quickly can we lobotomize them over a webway and get the fuck out of here?
The
God,
bottom
dude,
line's
you
the
keep
web
saying,
web?
dude, you keep saying the L word, man. I'm gonna run out of nut.
Good lord. I already filled up the mayonnaise jar, man. There ain't nothing else.
Bro, I got an empty gallon jug of public spring water over
Look,
here.
man, they are fucking Xeno, and we need to get into a webway and then kill them all.
All right.
We can attempt to we can right. See, here's the thing: is we're gonna have to ask the Chiliad, and it might piss off thingamaboobies. It might piss off fucking Gaians. But
All
I
of
think
them?
we should try and evacuate them.
So
Yeah,
he
the
wants
big problem that I
he
have out
wants
of character.
30,000 Eldar either dropped off on another planet so that they can just continue living, or you provide for them and then they can, you discuss with their leadership and they'll make a treaty and figure out how they can help you and all that, and you basically coexist. So
Soldiers.
if you can't
So-
coexist with them, he's basically like, can you at least just drop them off somewhere where they can just continue living?
Hitchhike.
So okay, two questions. One, how big is the 5.2 again? 50,000.
It's a couple million, isn't it?
You're talking about how many forces do they have?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like the entire population is 6.5 million, but yeah, I think it's like a couple million or something with that are
Oh, never mind.
guardsmen.
All right. So we
Okay.
barter with by evacuating all the Eldari here, and we get the
1.25.
location of what we want, and
Would we be able to convince the council to let us borrow a ship for this purpose?
I mean, possibly. I mean, if the information's worth it, I don't see why not.
if we don't have a world we can send them to here, they're welcome to like stay on the ship as we go through the gate back to the fucking Milky Way. And hey, then we send an inquisitorial party to go and fucking like start a conversation with the most friendliest craft world and send them there.
Yeah, because to be honest, you could put them back on the planet where the gardening robot was, and they could just hang out there. To be fair.
Honestly, I
True.
would probably be happier throwing them on a planet with guard. And then, so like
Okay.
looking at this from a non-xenophobic perspective, you have an entire Agrian society that you can displace into another perfectly good planet with an individual who is very well versed and familiar with growing shit. And what that means to me is when we do pull up here, we have infrastructure available to supply food, which is the most important aspect of any offensive. I don't
Chop
care
up
what
your
you say.
children.
Yeah, pretty much. Uh,
Yeah.
I just think like from like an actual like tactical perspective, like
Yeah.
displacing these individuals into the location where guard is at, and then having guard sort of put them into an Agrian override. We know where that planet is.
Yeah.
We can arm them. They can become a central food supplier, which would decrease the trade load off the Geno 25 Chiliad, which could then increase their industrial output due to niche specialization. And then the Aldari could get involved, and the Aldari could introduce the little scraps they have left over from War in Heaven Aldari tech. And then pretty soon you have some weird fucking disgusting mesh of Xeno Xeno
And robot.
Homo sapien fucking like imagine Wraith Knights with fucking Volkite cannons. Like that's the shit we're talking about here. So
Yeah.
The
I
dream.
like it. Let's do
Okay.
it.
Yeah,
Let's now we've got to convince the council.
xenophobically, my first inclination is, hey, let me vivisect your kids.
Good lord.
That just sounds rude.
The one.
That
Is
sounds
this
like
what- I mean,
crimes.
Is this why you're
Yeah.
not allowed within 500 yards of a school zone?
Beep boop bop bop.
Hey,
beep.
they aren't human. They're Xenos filth. Deal with it.
Good lord.
And you're a
Need to only affect
psyker.
humans.
Still Xenos filth.
At least he serves the Emperor.
Just warp
Hey,
filth.
As
Gotta
far
pay.
as we know.
Hey, if the Eldar are nice and they show us where a portal is, I can promise their children won't be lobotomized. I'll burn them to death quickly instead.
God, dude, you really
Hey.
gotta stop saying that L word. I'm running out of space here.
I mean,
glad
you've got
we're
something in
doing
common
it.
with them. They're being ethnically cleansed for the same reason you would be. They're fucking incredibly
but-
psychic.
Yeah, but seriously though, like the amount of possible advantages that we have displacing them to Guard's world, and then just entrusting Guard with. Plus, I'd be happy giving Guard about 35,000 bodyguards because he's too precious for this universe.
Both of them,
Yeah, dude.
actually.
There's already some las guns
Fair,
there and
fair.
everything. It's fine.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I mean, from a tactical perspective, as like a player, yeah, let's do it. But from like a character perspective, I am vehemently opposed to the idea of assisting these individuals who have spent the last 15,000 years
Hey,
killing humans
but
and betraying them.
If it comes down to it, if the Imperium comes through the webway for their crusade, you can just say that you quote unquote enslaved them.
Yeah.
True, but even then, we're about 9 years away from Yanid's cult reviving Guilliman and purging the witch toxin from his throat. So,
Even
I mean,
then-
if we were
on.
about
Yeah, but
if
indentured
we were
servitude,
10
man.
years in the future, if we were 10 years in the future, I'd be like, all right, yeah, whatever. Hey,
Just-
fucking Bowman's back.
Just Nakai talking to the Eldar. It's like,
Even
yeah,
then,
man,
when we come
damn,
back,
if it was only 10 years later, y'all have rights. Like, shit.
Yeah, but you
we
don't.
just say
so
fuck you.
get
We're
to
the
back-
Inquisition.
Not
Deal with it.
today.
But
Yeah.
here's the reality. Like, the Eldar have a storied history of, hey, we'll help out humanity, and they help out humanity do like one little thing, and then proceed to immediately backstab us, or backstab us beforehand because fuck you. The
It
piece
would
of
do
shit.
you all well to remember that Grayskull Mad Orc Thraka, who is without a doubt probably the single greatest orc threat to the Imperium, was created by an Eldar diversion.
Jesus.
But we don't
I
know
mean, I don't know. These
The Eldar will wipe
I mean,
out your
these
whole planet because your descendants might do something they don't like in the future.
yeah, these Eldar
Bro.
are yeah, but we're the Eldar in this situation. we can wipe out their entire planet if they do
We the
anything to
bad
our
got 'em.
descendants. Yeah, this is the only time you see that the Eldar are literally in a position to be completely snuffed out. Like,
Look, if they give us the location of Webway, I can promise they will die quickly.
Okay, we're going to start taking this roleplay seriously, or Stark's going to start shooting PCs. We're going to have a Zevon situation again, fellas. Swear to God.
all right, so
We're not fighting
I'm back.
the Eldar.
besides the obvious raisement, it makes sense with Jacob saying. So besides the obvious uproar of the Krieger, everybody else is pretty much fine with it.
Except Nakai.
Yeah, except in the guy. Yeah, so it's like 2-something. But at this point, all the Space Marines seem to say that it's fine. So, I mean, really, that's the only. It's kind of the only votes
Yeah.
that matter. To be fair.
Yeah, I mean, being a Black Templar and all, like, I should be like adamantly opposed to it. But I mean, going to the Death Watch and everything and being told, hey, I mean, Psychers are bad, but I mean, they're not all bad. I mean, not all Xenos can be bad. The Imperium's allied with them a few times before,
Well,
I just want to make a statement.
Mm.
You're wrong. But okay.
Yeah,
Alright,
it
but
would
if-
just be a moment of like Nakai and the Krieger would literally just voice their opinions, and then at the end of the day, the Death Watch Space Marines would just say yes, but the value of the Eldar in this
Yes,
situation will
but-
benefit. It's like we're gonna throw them on a planet that has no technology, and the most advanced thing is a gardening robot that's like 1,000 years old. So if we want to nuke them from orbit, we still can. It's like
Yeah,
See, the,
yeah.
the big
I
thing
just
is
want
that,
the right to press the exterminatus button when we come back with a fleet.
the thing
Please.
about
I mean,
yeah,
you guys
I
have
think-
you guys have 3 ships now, so it's like you have a fleet. If you need to wipe out
Technically.
30,000 Eldar on a farm planet, it's not fucking hard. So
yeah,
it's,
see,
Sure.
the
have
thing-
returned.
yeah, it's not going to be hard, but you definitely don't want to loom that over their heads because then they might do something weird. Who knows? But
Yeah, it's weird. It's almost like threatening these people you're having a peaceful interaction with makes it a not peaceful interaction anymore. Weird.
What?
See,
Alright,
I don't like your
so
sensibility.
okay, so we're going forward
That's
with
why
that.
I'm going Corpsman and not actually in the core.
It'll take
Nakai.
them about 3 or 4 days to get everybody on the ship. The council is fine with them being relocated to that planet. Like once you explain, it's like they don't have any spacecraft, they barely have any. They don't even have enough equipment to arm all their people. So, once you explain that to them, they're like, "Okay." I said, "If you lose control of that ship, we will just, we're just gonna take it out once it comes out of, its jump."
Yeah.
So,
Do
Mm.
ooh, this is my next concern.
what do you
Based
want
off of
from
our
this guy, though? What was it specific? Like, what is the information that you're trying to get from this guy? What's the
Location
payment?
of the ship gate.
yeah,
Ship
so if
gate.
we could
Okay.
first chief amongst thing that he's willing to provide to us if we could get it would be Eldari void gates or like the webway gates that are large enough for actual like respectable void craft to go through. Not like destroyer. I'm talking like cruisers here. Grand cruisers if we can swing it. Craft
Especially-
warfare.
There was one for a fleet, we know, that was destroyed. I'm talking like one that will get a ship through.
Yeah.
Especially if it's not controlled by the Gaians. That would be
Yeah.
big nice.
One we can get through without like big fucking this
Yeah.
galaxy, so we can come back, so we can get the cavalry and come in and save the Chiliad.
He smiles.
Second-
He goes, "That is a very big request."
So it's moving 30,000 bodies.
I will tell
mean-
you. He goes, "You as well know the value of those webways, and they are definitely not worth 30,000 souls." He goes, "I will give you 2 answers." He goes, he designates, the one that's basically the farthest north on the map. It's sector 977. He goes, that webway is large enough for fleets to pass through. Whether or not it's still operational, we don't know. The Gaians did lose one, as you told. And unfortunately, that webway location became a black hole. But they've been building another one ever since the loss of that one. So maybe it's operational, maybe it's not. But
The
who
guys
knows?
can build web portals.
As they've
Interesting.
adapted the technology to be able to utilize webways to potentially just broadcast it into a larger vessel. So, what they'll do is they'll
Oh.
take the established webway point, and sometimes they will build a facility around it, and they will cast it onto this larger ring.
I
Now
mean, is it really that difficult to believe that the Gaians could build webway portals? Because the Emperor of
People
they
Mankind
know
is
can't
fucking.
they can't build webway. So that's the thing. They're it's not the exact technology. They're not building webway portals. It's because the thing is that they have to go through the webway and build the same thing on the other side for it to work. So all they're doing is essentially, it's almost like putting your hand around your ear to be able to hear better. They just build a facility that takes the webway that gets established and broadcasts it to this larger ring that can make it wider. And they just do that on the other side. They can't
so
do that without webway gates. So they have to
you
have
can't do
them.
that without psychers.
What's that?
Oh, doing that without a psycher.
With a shitload of power. They literally are just basically pouring actual energy into the webway gate to basically increase the size of the webway portal it produces, and they're just redirecting it.
And the Dark Eldar and the Harlequins haven't noticed this shit to come and murder all these fuckers.
I mean, there's a nigh endless number of webway portals, some of which not even the Eldari know about. So
Yeah,
I'd be
if
inclined to
if
believe
they did
yes.
it to a random webway, like that's the thing. They always know where the webway goes because they have to go through it and build the same facility on the other side as well to be able
Oh,
to make the
okay.
larger webway. So
But there
like
are
Gotcha.
no webway gates that aren't like heavily guarded by big like advanced militaries that we could use.
I will give you the second for transporting these 30,000 souls. It goes far in the deep, deep eastern fringe of the Gaian territory, unbeknownst to them, on one of their core worlds, buried beneath it, is an old webway gate that was used by the founders of the webway system to transport an unknown amount of fleet to this galaxy. They've been sitting on top
Guys,
of it the whole time. But I don't know which planet it is.
God damn it.
guys,
Minimal.
that's a free cyclonic torpedo deployment.
Yes, it is.
What? Oh
But
my
wait, hold on.
god.
By the fountain. Hold on. This might come out into the Eye of Terror.
I mean, it might, but
I mean,
know,
way
it
to
might. I
find
mean,
out.
it probably is. I'm like 60% sure it will.
maybe.
Sounds like a
But
good time.
there's only one way to find out. Not to know about you, but I'm feeling pretty demon proof.
Blue
I mean,
Skidoo.
shit. Yeah, all my chapter abilities are against demons anyway. Let's go.
Oh my gosh.
Okay,
Yep.
but now the hard part is going
Unironically, though, yeah.
into the Gaian fringes of space
Yeah.
and finding that specific planet.
Tutu.
Alright,
We
so
don't
what do
need
we
to
do then?
find it. We just need to blow it up and then wait for the news to tell us which planet we got.
Me one go home.
I mean,
What
like,
now?
am I wrong? Like,
Well, the one that he said was on their planet is buried. The Gaians don't
You have
know
to
it's
like
there.
bombard the planet to excavate it.
yeah, exactly. The Gaians don't know it's there. So if we use these Eldari and then, we foster some farseers amongst them, which would take a couple of years, but we could run them through. Then we can use them as a sort of GPS, and after a couple
Yeah.
U-turns,
Oh,
boom.
wait. The astropaths can identify them by the Emperor's light shining through them.
Yeah, but we'd have to land an astropath down on the surface, and utilizing one of the very few psychers that we have in
Well, the
order
webway
to,
would have to be open.
yeah, that as
True.
well.
Damn it.
Mm.
I don't even know if the fucking Eldar, even them psychically attuned, would be able to find it. I mean, if it's large enough for an entire fleet to go through it, though, it's big as shit. So
Yeah.
Buried
That's
on a
big
world.
enough.
Odds are there's a record somewhere about some shit like that being found or reburied or something. Because if you discover a webway that's not operational or like you don't know how to turn it on,
Yeah.
you're just gonna think it's like from a lost race or something like that, and then just probably either rebury it or put it in a museum.
True.
What if
Okay,
that's
that's fine.
actually the STC museum?
Well, the
Two
STC
birds,
is
one
in a
stone.
museum. You could also go see any of the relics that they have in there. There is a 1911 in there. It ain't worth a shit. It's damaged as crap, but if you want one, you'll have a total of 4 rounds.
4? What the fuck? Why 4?
There's
Why
sure
would
a
they
lot
make more ammo for it?
Oh,
I don't know.
yeah, I'll give you that one.
I don't even know if
Yeah.
the ammo would work. Do you know how old that thing would have to be?
Hey.
40,000 years old.
The ammo doesn't have to work. There's stuff even in there.
38,000 actually. Thank you.
Only.
Sure.
But
Great.
so he
Be right
goes,
back real fast.
"Do you have anything else to offer me for more information?"
I mean, obviously, you care about the
Location
Eldari,
at
and I'm gonna go on a
beginning.
limb here and assume that like factional disputes have become a thing of the past ever since the Eldari have united against a common enemy in the form of the Gaians. Look, you keep the information coming, and we'll just pick up as many Eldari as we can once we get a ship through, and then we'll concentrate the Eldari on Guard's World.
In
But
camp.
in order,
In
yeah, in
camps.
camps, exactly. But
Yes.
in order for this shit to happen, you need to work with us in good faith, and we're gonna work with you in good faith. So
The good faith has been struck, and
Um,
my deal has been bartered. I
well,
gave
no,
you the
we
information about the 2 webway gates in exchange for relocating the 30,000 people. What
don't
happens from there?
How about this?
don't we know where another one is? Could we trade for more locations?
Hold on.
We
The
How
answer to my
about
question would be to the Space Marines. I'm not actually saying that out loud.
yeah.
we make a deal with you give us the information, any information we require, and upon our arrival back to our home galaxy, we will notify the Eldari population to the plight of the small population here and
Yes, that is true.
reunite them.
But we could also, like metaphysically, like reuniting these Eldari with the Craft Worlders would
Would score us hella brownie points. And
hella. Like Gulliman would
Because
give all of us our own.
I will answer more questions if you tell me that you will never let these people set foot in that galaxy.
Oh,
why
that
is
one.
Don't
that?
want them to.
I mean, well, do
Oh,
you
If
blame
that's
him?
if that's going to be
Do you
part
blame him?
if that's going to be part of the information, I will be happy to answer that question.
I mean,
If you agree to these terms, make your diplomacy, come to terms with them, join forces, whatever you want to do. You take these 30,000 Eldar to that planet, and you do not allow them to go to the Milky Way.
It's probably because there's less demons here.
Yeah.
probably because there's
I
less demons.
accept the
Right.
offer.
Bro, yeah. Are you kidding me? Do you have any idea how much diplomatic bargaining power this guy just cued us in on? We could literally send all of these people into a place where their souls, their eternal souls, are
Jeopardy.
claimed by an unimaginably hedonistic god
Well,
of debauchery.
How about
also,
we guarantee their safety under the
I
Chiliad?
return.
We seek to be the salvation of the new Chiliads.
wait, couldn't we also use the information that this place doesn't damn the soul of the Eldar to trade with other Eldar craft worlds to steal
We
stuff?
could. We could quite literally convince every Eldar craft world to relocate to this universe, and then we would have
And then
the
one of the Chaos Gods will go to this universe and leave us the fuck alone. It's a win-win.
got him! Oh my god, gents! We just figured out 4D chess countered Slanesh. Fucking call me Zeech. Alex, how many bird wings do I grow?
-7.
Damn.
So huge mega dendrites, got it.
Right.
He's
Mad
got
Dendrites.
less
plan.
mechadendrites now.
Well, now he's gay
So what's
if he has
no?
no
What's
mechadendrites.
this guy's gonna if information for deals like so? What's the deal?
Yes, I agree. I accept the deal.
Yeah,
Yes.
we accept. We
All right,
accept.
so
Yes.
the Eldar
Like,
are never
we're
gonna
just
set
sort of.
foot back in the Milky Way. Okay.
Nope.
Guess-
Can't blame him.
Yeah. How
guess
does he
so.
feel about Milky Way Eldari coming here, though?
That wasn't part of the deal.
Oh, true. All right. Yeah. Don't care.
Don't
Well,
even
we're
mention
bringing
that.
him
We
Don't-
can
anyways.
ask
Don't
for
mention
more
that. Don't mention that
information.
yet.
Yeah.
Guess
Exactly.
What do you wish to know then?
What do we want to know?
Wait, did we make a second deal while I was off in the little sniper's room?
Yeah.
Yep.
Little sniper's room.
For the guarantee that these Eldar will not set foot back in the Milky Way, he said he'll give you more information.
He's got questions.
Oh heck! Oh, I bet he knows what the STC is on Gaia's museum.
I mean,
And
why would we ask about that when we can just find any tourist pamphlet and find it
Yeah, pretty much.
ourselves?
I guess. Do you think that he has the stat block for the bodyguard?
He might know where more gates are, and the more options we have, the better off we are.
Yeah, I
That's very true.
suppose fucking gates in like neutral territory that we could use.
More gates, the better.
As all the gates I know of are not powered. You could figure out a way to power them, then by all means you can use them.
Do we know traditionally what powers them?
Psychers, shut the
no-
fuck up.
Normally, actually, no, you guys wouldn't. Out of game, like meta, it's like Eldar technology. So,
Yeah.
like you guys don't have access to something that can create enough power. Now, like people on Mars and stuff like that, like some high level tech priests and stuff, they probably could make something, or they have something that could do that. But like I mean, you're talking about like sacrificing the generators from like all three of your ships to power a webway, and that's kind of not gonna
Yeah.
happen.
No. So
That's not like the
Wait,
5-2
you're
would never do that.
yeah,
Yeah.
you're looking at like mega engineering, and we're not there yet. Although I am already actively drafting up ideas for creating multiple Dyson forges, so
Okay.
I'll get back to you.
I
All
thought you were
right.
working on the lobotomy manufacturer.
Great.
But he can give you a
Goddamn right.
location of 3 other webway portals, size, what their location. Like he knows what planets they're on. Doesn't know if they're buried. Doesn't know if they're operational.
Oh.
As far as he knows, he thinks they're non-operational because otherwise they would have been colonized. So he can give you 3 locations and leave it at that. That's all he has
Well,
access to.
we came through one that wasn't colonized and was operational, so yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Also, hey, Nikai, check your roll 20.
Come to Peepaw. All right. So first off, I will not stand for this attack against. I will not stand for this attack against the Omniscient faithfuls.
No.
I whispered to him on roll 20, "You're gay."
Wow.
That's not
Great.
And he's not even part of the 2 gay dads lore.
Oh, what a fucking little bitch.
You heard him, Nikai. You're a little bitch.
You know what, guys? I'm really not feeling this right now, so I'm gonna go jerk off, cry in the corner, and then blame women for all my problems.
All right, mate.
Sound like my dad.
No.
Much.
My dad.
Jesus
Fuck
fuck Christ.
sakes.
I hate
And
this lore.
The location
I
for the
hate
webways
this
are on
lore.
the map now.
Gosh. All right, let's see what are our choices here today. We got
What is
which
the
one's the
symbol of
webway
Cthulhu?
symbols?
They're the fucking that's a hexagon. Yeah.
Oh,
blue
those
hexagon.
ones.
Yeah.
Little blue
Um,
hexagons. Okay.
Dude, I'm
Blue
like
hexagon.
fucking 7 beers deep right now, dog. Like fuck.
Yeah, I'm pretty whiny.
numbers in
What
this
beer
record.
That's how many Santa has for
Anyway.
his sleigh.
Well, shit. Let's get drunk and rush the webway. Let's go.
Did
Dude,
you
I'm
say
telling
he said
you, like,
beers, not
literally,
tears?
first off, I
Steve?
really, I mean, I honestly think like if we're getting stupid, I really do think the key to success right now is if we take a black hole and then build a shitload of mirrors around it,
What?
we can
Oh god,
reflect
shut
the
up.
No, I'm serious. Listen to me. Listen to me. If we take a black
Yeah,
hole and
I'm
then
not
we
gonna do that.
build a shitload of finely polished mirrors around it in a dodecahedron, what we can do is we can bleed the matter, or no, the energy release off of the event horizon sphere, and then we can reflect that off of the mirrors, slowly but
I'm pretty
surely
sure you
adding critical energy mass to this. And then what we can do is we can immediately disintegrate one of the mirrors, creating a black hole powered energy beam, and shoot that at the guy in Homeworld. Right? So you picking
So
up
you're
what I'm
trying
saying
to, so
here?
you're trying to fucking Star Wars this galaxy.
No,
I don't.
no,
I don't
I'm
think
No,
I'm
he's
just
trying to
saying.
event
that.
Horizon.
That's a
saying.
trademark statement. So Disney, don't hurt me.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, there's ways to weaponize space.
I
Like,
am not sponsored by
hypothetically
Now,
Disney.
speaking, we
now
could
hold on.
introduce enough
I
mass
know the Void Dragon
to
influenced you, but
All
you
right.
might want
we could introduce enough mass to a class B
Enough
star to make it
enough
go
doomsday
neutron.
mirror black hole bullshit. Do
Okay,
you have any other
alright, fine.
questions or any other deals you want to make with this guy?
Can you tell
Uh,
us if there are any other Eldar that he is aware of, or other Xenos in the area?
Are
Because
there any
there's Eldar
Tau?
scattered throughout the entirety of the Gaian territory. A lot of them became slaves. Most were executed. Because some are even bounty hunters to this day. Because that's common knowledge, so I don't have to give you a price for
I'll
that.
hunt your bounty.
rogue
What
like rogue
about
traders. Are
Xenos?
there any sort of like neutral ports that like smugglers and gun runners use that are like fucking outside of regular jurisdiction of like governments?
Of the Gaians?
That's a good question, actually. Yeah.
Or you mean the question that I
Did
suggested
you?
we ask and you guys said no?
He goes,
Oh, I
yes,
remember.
some of the feudal worlds and such like that are used as such outposts or areas to get together. As far as their like the abundancy of them, I'm not sure. I don't particularly have to use them as often myself. Some of the Xenos races that are spread out throughout here are not sizable enough to be a threat to Gaian territory expansion, so they're basically ignored. With that how it is, sometimes they tend to be just marauding pirate bands, mercenary groups set up for hire. There's some insectoids that they get bought out as muscle pretty often when it comes to smugglers and pirates trying to get a particular goal.
So what would happen, like out of character, what would happen if we fucking went through a black hole?
You'd probably fucking die.
I'd have to determine that because it's really up to personal interpretation because we don't know.
Yeah, I mean, you would
Yeah.
absolutely die.
I guess
Like,
whatever
depends on
happened,
how-
whatever happened in the Interstellar movie.
well,
Yeah.
that
actually,
black hole.
it
The issue that black hole was a megastructure built by humans in the future to capitalize on the gravitational effect that the effect that gravity has on time. So
That's what,
that
no,
was an
but that's what
artificial
he
black
thought.
hole.
But remember, it turned out that all those messages that they thought were from fucking future humans were actually him.
I mean, yeah, but still,
So
it
he
was
just
put
went into a
there-
black hole and it worked. He
It
went
was
through
put
time.
there
But-
by future humans.
but
Bit,
huge but. It
bit.
depends on if Alex, the GM, firmly believes the theory that Event Horizon is canon in the Warhammer 40k universe.
What? When
I mean,
did
bitch,
do
it might
that?
as well be. Fuck.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, I don't doubt that fucked up shit like that has happened in the warp. You should
No,
have
I'm-
you should have heard my
for
you should have heard
going to a feudal
my
world.
theory on the warp yesterday.
Oh, dude,
really?
shit was wild, bro.
Yeah,
What the
I was
fuck,
talking
dude?
and debating about the warp is actually is another galaxy on another plane of existence, and that psychers are actually tethering it to us, and we fucked it up as much as it's fucking us up.
Yeah, it's like a It's like a gangbang of just disappointment.
Yeah, it was just a normal galaxy filled with planets and stuff doing their own thing like us, but it's on another existence. But instead of just passing through our galaxy and not colliding like, it normally would, all this psychic energy from the war in heaven caused it to get tethered to us. And then all of our emotions and psychic energy poured into the warp and killed everybody and transformed them into, warp entities and chaos gods.
Stark, I will fucking kill you.
I'm way
You
too
would-
fucking stoned for that right now. My fucking head hurts.
Okay,
Bro.
Bro, you
Fuck.
can't be hitting me with that shit, man. That's gonna fuck
Okay,
me over.
so all right. I
Okay.
don't know if you guys have watched Event Horizon, but the whole thing
Yes.
about the idea of it being a prequel to Warhammer 40k is that it's a portal. Like it's a way
Yeah.
to travel from place to place. No,
The ship's
the
a
black
portal?
hole.
Oh, the black
The
hole.
black hole is a portal.
Well, I mean,
Yes.
the ship even gets possessed, so I mean,
Well, yes, but that's happened in Warhammer, going through the warp when
I'll
demons
Get
possess.
fucking
it? Yeah.
So
A
that's
black
not like
hole does not teleport you anywhere, it shrinks you.
okay, but this is also Warhammer 40k.
You
There's
get,
no
It
8
actually
foot
is
tall
spaghetti.
super.
you get shrunk to a molecular level, so now you're in another
It actually
dimension that is smaller than us.
spaghettifies you. It actually spaghettifies you. Thank you.
Go drink your cheap beer, Alan.
Excuse me. Oldest
It's
beer in
Red's
America,
apple ale,
motherfucker.
thank you.
Are we all drinking? Jesus
No.
Christ, that explains
Yeah.
a lot.
Are we?
So yeah, let's go to
Now-
a feudal world that like has the
Yo,
freaking trade.
But seriously
I'll
though, so,
All right.
yeah, we got the information. Let's drop these fucking people off. Put them there.
Ha, he
Guard,
said
Kill
people.
some shit.
Guard will teach them how to farm. So boom, now we have food. We can stop trading with all the other jerk offs because the Eldari are just going to grow that shit anyways in exchange
Yeah.
for protection. And then we can focus.
Exactly.
The 2-5 Chiliad can focus on industrialization while we integrate ourselves in the feudal world and figure out ways to fucking contact like third party independent trade federations and then hopefully
Sure.
I
cripple the guy in the
You're
top.
funny. You're funny.
I
This
could
is where we
hear
this
the
is where we
I
vent
could
the
hear the
atmosphere
air
from our ship and kill them all.
Oh,
Goddamn
good
right.
lord.
Dane, you can't literally have been on my side this entire time and switch
Well,
up
the
on my
Eldar, they're gonna fucking backstab us. Why don't we do it before them?
How are they gonna do that if they're growing
no.
corn?
This was literally my entire
gonna-
fucking.
They're gonna make
burning
a
them.
corn-powered ship, and they're gonna fly up. And they're gonna destroy our fleet.
Powered
dude.
or porn?
They're gonna backstab us in some way. Let's backstab them
They're
first.
gonna
Let's vent the
grow
atmosphere.
Eldar corn.
So did you? So okay. So we're done talking to this
It just
guy.
has extra
right?
long eat leaves. Yeah.
Yes,
Oh,
I do
yes.
believe we are.
So-
done.
No, we got one more thing.
What?
We are not Eldar. We're not going to backstab them first. We're going to stab them in the front because we're the Imperium of Man and we have honor.
So you're gonna respectfully go to a diplomatic summons with them and then declare war?
No.
Yes.
That's stabbing someone in the front. Is letting them know what the date and time the war begins.
Yeah, exactly. It's very World War One of you.
It is a great thing to do. Thank you.
Okay, so we're done with that, guys. So we're gonna spend the couple of weeks heading, dropping off the Eldar, unloading them, and then heading to a neutral area. So as far as like making contact with, a smuggler guild or like a federation of like traders and stuff, what exactly are we trying to accomplish contacting them? Like what are we needing?
I would like information on that fucking big ass webway portal, and then we can go on that idea of, pissing
Smuggle
and
ourselves
shitting
out.
on a
So they're
guy
they're
in
not
front.
gonna wait. Do you mean like the big ass webway portal that's in operation, or the one that's buried? Because they're not gonna know
Buried.
about the buried one.
Well, I'm hoping that we can find information on it. Maybe there's a really old Eldar bounty hunter that we can find.
Yes, that.
No, like at this
Perhaps.
point, you're gonna have to like go and find like freaking.
Let's
Oh, I forgot what
see.
they're called. What are those people called that dig up artifacts and shit?
Archaeologist.
There you go. You're gonna have to like get archaeologists like records from the guy in history books and stuff, and like start putting it
Relicantus.
together.
Well, that should be easy considering I am a real archaeologist, and real archaeologists love to share their fucking archaeological records.
There you go. So you'll be
Got
you just
'em.
have to get access to the information. So we've got that.
Now we just need to learn how to read Gaian.
So
Let's
besides
just
Start.
smuggle ourselves out of the galaxy.
you want to get smuggled out of the galaxy?
Yeah,
N-
back to make fucking contact with Octavius.
yes, but using that giant web way. No.
But I'm
web-
right here.
Sorry,
Got him!
Octavian.
Every
It's not
time, every
impossible.
Fucking
It's
confused.
not impossible. You could get in contact with someone. Um, you know, they would like ask how many people they would like ask for descript. Like they need to know basically like relative size, weights. What you're bringing
How
and
big the
stuff.
box is.
Basically, so
I
they
can
need to
fit
know all
in
that stuff. So like, would all of you be getting smuggled?
Good.
Like
Does
if you're
anyone want to
trying to
stay?
get smuggled through the webway gate, like they would need to know who, how many, like what you're taking. So would it be all of
Gotcha.
you with all your gear or what?
I feel like getting ourselves smuggled out is a secondary issue for right now. I feel like
Yeah.
if we can activate that webway portal, if we can do this guerrilla campaign and activate that webway portal, also it's a Gaian core world, so all of us can do all the things we want. Nakai can create his little religious cult. We can do some Marsoc shit where we're just like putting our penises where they shouldn't be and things explode. You know what I mean? So like,
Not much.
I didn't come to this galaxy to put my penis in things.
So
coward.
It didn't.
yeah, so the smugglers like so just so you have a price point, like they can smuggle you to the Boston Regent planet for like 1 million Gaian credits.
But
The five
do
two
we
have
have?
that, but like to get you through the webway, all of you with your gear and stuff would be like somewhere around like 750 million. Um, it ain't an easy task. So just one of you with all your gear is probably around like 15-20 million Gaian credits.
Okay.
So it's
I'm
really
gonna need.
expensive. But I mean, yeah, like the 5.2 doesn't have Gaian credits like that. They have some, but they don't they don't trade with everyone like that. So
Hmm.
they haven't been hoarding them. So they have like, maybe like 100 million credits. They're willing to pay the million to get you guys on the Boston Regent so you can make contact with their field agents that they have there. And then they'll
Gotcha.
give you like another million so that you can try to establish a safe house and stuff and then work your shit out from there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Makes sense.
So they'll do that in the meantime, and the
Just-
smuggler will take you guys and your equipment. And then from there, if you decide you want to push further into the Gaian belly of the beast and go to the eastern fringe and find that webway, that's an option. Or find up enough information or get stuff like, I mean, you could always get enough support to take out the Ruby Syndicate, or you could get enough information to get into the webways that are already defended by the Gaians, or find the shit you need to make generators and possibly found a broken one no one knows about and charge it up. Worst case scenario, it works and you can just send one person through to go tell somebody something. Hopefully he doesn't pop up on a planet that sucks.
Alright, so Boston region, when depending on the kind of technology we get from there, we either take out the Ruby, power a generator, or make our own here.
Yeah, you still have a lot of options, but I think that's going to be the best one because you guys are going to start getting access to that to information. That's really all you guys really need.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, yeah, you guys can talk about whatever you want, but I think I'll call it there because that'll give me time to go ahead and get the maps and stuff ready for next week, and then I can start making stuff for
Alrighty.
all the possible scenarios, I
Awesome.
guess, now.
Yeah,
Yep.
let's
Let's just
consolidate
decide on
what we want to do and commit, all right? Like I'm perfectly fine supporting whatever effort the party chooses, you know. So I purely am concerned with the acquisition of information intelligence and the like economic eco-technological
Getting
capabilities
shit
and
up running.
guidance.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
energy
exactly.
production is probably going to be the most available kind of information. So if we get the information so
Sure.
that you can like fix or build a generator to
Pretty much
power
right.
a webway that's not currently fucking like guarded, then shit,
Yeah.
we can at
Well,
least call for the cavalry there.
I
Yeah.
feel
But
like
Sure.
So
big
at a very
if we
minimum,
get guns going for the Ruby Syndicate will be good as well, because if we do get any reinforcements come from Octavian, fuck that noise. They're gonna come through that world because that's the portal he knows about, right?
you
I
heard him,
mean, even
Octavius.
then,
Dane wants to fuck. Anyway,
Yeah, dude.
got him.
yeah,
That makes
even
sense.
then, amplifying the energy production available to us is probably the best thing we can do because it allows us to field better shit because we just have the energy to do it.
So, okay, I have a
Yeah.
kind of a general plan. Tell me if this sounds bad. We go
That's
to the
not good at
Boston region.
all.
Sounds bad.
It's
We
bad.
go to
That's terrible.
we go to the Boston region.
Alex, you motherfucker, you read my mind.
We
Here
we
you
go to
go.
the Boston region. We get in contact with the agents. We help them out a bit, and then we start on our way to a feudal world or wherever to try and identify underworld contacts to try and find information like archaeological sources. And then once we find the archaeological sources that identify the world, we are
Yeah.
on a Curl world. Nakai has
Oh,
plenty
okay.
of big brain schemes that he can do on a core world, from communist revolution, electric boogaloo, stealing technology,
Boogaloo.
And to be
and
and to
God wills that you seize the means of production.
and to be honest, going
Love it.
after the Ruby Syndicate, like not like a full scale war, but like going after some of them
Yeah.
isn't a bad idea because all their top guys have like hefty bounties. Like
Hefty
Oh, okay.
bounties. I was digging
Interesting.
into it.
Mm,
Should we
Curious.
capture those
Dane's like, oh,
individuals?
not just
Wait.
personally,
Yeah,
but
so
financial
yeah,
right,
so
gains.
yeah,
I
the
was
Gaians aren't
well,
enemies of ours yet.
I was
Yes.
actually looking into
Well,
it, and should we capture those individuals, we're looking at if memory
Bank
serves and I
bank.
did the math correctly, about 2.5 billion credits
Oh,
to get
so
all of
that
them.
could smuggle us through a webway.
Oh, okay, yeah, fuck it, let's go. All right, come on, we're going after Apophis because your mama been hunting.
Does it say they
Oh.
have to be alive or extra crispy?
I do
uh,
believe it simply requires proof
Proof
of
of
death. I
murder
do know.
webway.
Ruby herself is wanted with a 950 million credit bounty. Dead.
Shit, I'd do that one for free.
Oh,
Yeah,
hell yes.
yeah, dude. No, I'm telling you,
Apophis
it'd
has
be
a
super easy.
$453 million bounty, but is requested to be captured alive. So
What?
Okay,
his is for capture
Nah.
live. It
Nah.
doesn't say
So-
dead
Yeah,
or
but we
alive.
can
Okay,
nuke the
yeah,
fuck out of Ruby
Nah.
Tuesday.
Burn off his
Uh,
arms, not his head. Got it.
Yeah, there's another guy who's wanted dead for 170 million. There's Slick Shot Eddie who's wanted for 25 million.
Quick shot,
All right,
Eddie.
we wanted to
yeah.
do some Navy SEAL shit. Let's go do some Navy SEAL shit. Let's go
So, well, here's
fucking
the
decapitate
thing:
the Ruby
if we
Syndicate.
consolidate all of them onto an individual single planet, I mean, capturing them would be difficult
I
So-
mean,
when they're
that
together.
you saw 3 of them and you saw how
Yeah.
much firepower they had. Granted, they were doing something of importance, but if you're talking about all of their top epsilon on a planet, that's you're that's that's an that's a war. That's not even an assassination. Like that's a
Yeah,
suicide.
that's a
That's a
full-on,
kill team level mission.
which is
Like
that's my
4
biggest
Space Marines
concern.
go in and they're not expected to survive kind of level mission. Like
Yeah, so
I'm,
my biggest
I'm totally
concern.
down.
I mean, it'd be super cool, yeah, but like
uh,
my biggest concern is that like the Ruby Syndicate knows that these bounties are this high, and they have the security here, but for us to even stand a chance, we would require at the very minimum space superiority, and the only way I can think of us getting space superiority is if we get more ships and then augment them to have better lances, because I can promise you right now that the ballistic technology these guys have outranges macro cannons, but what it doesn't outrange is fucking lances because they travel at the
Yeah.
speed of Mach Jesus. So you know getting a shitload of lance boats so that way we can just dive right into these guys and then fucking cut the ships up, getting in and then getting pinpoint lance battery strikes on planet
Yeah.
side. That's about the best way we could do it, assuming that they don't have, anti-ship weaponry, which is a very real possibility. And then at that point, we would have to start, coordinating shit like, ground strikes with, Thunderhawk support, and
Oh,
Space
So
cool.
Marines would
you
have to be
could
dropping on
you
polar
could establish
fortresses.
on the Boston Regent and gather intel to start because you're it's a ceasefire as long as you don't do anything aggressively. Well, actually, like yeah, if you do get discovered on a guy in planet hoarding equipment, that is grounds for something. But I don't know if it'd be full scale war. But either way, if you just if you fight the Ruby Syndicate, though, they're in neutral territory and they're a mercenary slash pirate band. No one gives a shit. So you could potentially hide in Gaian territory and go and eliminate known targets for the Ruby Syndicate and take those bounties and just keep funding your campaign against them.
We
So hold
could.
on.
I
I
have an
feel
idea.
I feel like we're overstretching. How about we just decide what we're doing next? Because Alex isn't going to create the next 10 maps.
No, I'm saying there's no reason like you should definitely go and infiltrate a Gaian planet because having a safe house in their territory, you get a bunch of intel, you have a nice position, but the Ruby Syndicate can't fucking touch you. So even if
Yep.
you
Right.
start gunning after them, they can't come bust your house up on Gaian territory because if they did, they'd have to be as covert as you guys are. And if they start coming after you on a squad level,
They're
five v
done. There's
five, that's not
no way.
yeah.
There's no way on God's green earth that they could beat us
So right,
on a
how about
5v5.
this? We infiltrate the Gaian world. We set up our safe house, right? We tool up personally, so everybody goes and gets some new equipment. Like I'm looking at that little energy shield. It looks quite nice. It parries a free action, right? We get some weapons. We get the Humies some power armor, right? So
Yeah.
they can survive a drop pod, and then we drop pod on the Ruby Syndicate, and we fuck shit up.
Stark wouldn't put power armor on if you paid him.
You would if we were going in a drop pod.
Yeah, I mean, I would absolutely put power armor on.
Believe me, Sonny, you're gonna need it.
Yeah,
Free
it's like
armor?
establishing on the Boston region's the first step because it's once you guys start getting a hold of Guy and stuff like you have the armory and stuff. There's going to be stuff you guys are going to get, and the Gaians do have human drop pods, so they don't have they use one similar to like ODST. It's for a single individual, um so you don't even need to throw anyone in power armor. You can just throw them in those drop pods and stuff. And it's like once you start seeing
Sweet.
the stuff you guys can get a hold of, it's like you're going to start working towards that. But you're going to need money. So it's like you have some, you're going to be able to do some stuff. But once you start getting that intel and it starts flowing in, you start having your little agents and stuff, and you build your little base up. It's going to all start flowing in. But I would say that if you start hunting the Ruby Syndicate players down like one by one and take out the weakest ones. Because even the weakest one has like $23 million bounty. That's still a
That's
shit ton
Big
of money.
big
Yeah, for sure.
monies.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then it's like after a while you can just start sending some back to the I mean shit, just the Eldar producing food and stuff for the Chiliads is gonna help out a lot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that'll reduce. We want to increase the amount of self-reliance that we have as much as possible, while reducing the amount of strategic resources that we import,
It
because those strategic resources require people, which ironically is actually our most valuable resource right now.
Yeah,
So
and well, also if you can get the 5-2, like the 5-2 regiment to be like if you bolster them enough, if you give them enough equipment, if you get them enough food coming in, if they have enough resources to where they don't leave themselves open by risking attacking the Ruby Syndicate's webway gate is in their space. The Gaians can't do shit about that.
yeah,
So
and I mean,
if
Man,
but right now
if
it's too risky to be like, we only have 3
Yeah.
ships, we only have this amount of people,
Mm-hmm. For
So
sure.
yeah, so you guys
Sounds
have
good.
to be like the rebels from Halo, start stealing fucking
Yeah.
ships out of space docks and stuff.
Dude, well, here's the thing. The Gaians have the technology to expand webway gates, so that means that theoretically, we, if we give the Chiliad enough support, could start, we can start bringing in like Imperial Knights. And I don't want Titans. Titans require too much logistical support for us to move right now. Imperial Knights are self sufficient,
Beautiful.
multitask, utilitarian platforms which give us both combat and civilian efficiency bonuses.
You ever tried landing one on a
Like,
planet?
what's up?
Always,
You ever
baby.
tried landing one on a planet?
You can land a hell of a lot more knights using a galaxy lighter than you can fucking Imperial class Titans.
just,
I
Yeah, but
assure
they
you
tend, they
that
tend to
right
catch a lot of flack.
Yeah, it would just be like,
Still.
and that's the thing is that like if you establish the webway, they find out the situation, it's still going to be a long time before there's a crusade because technically we're not at war with anyone. So,
I want
unless
to create night
Sad
drop
Templar
unless the
noises.
Gaians have been going through their webways into the Imperium, like if those webways weren't on Imperial planets and they weren't going around attacking Imperial forces, technically we're not at war with them. So we might actually just make contact, and there's going to be years of diplomats asking the Gaians, "Hey, do you want to be a part of the Imperium?" and blah blah blah. But that also does give us time to basically just keep pulling forces through the webways and colonizing the western half of Andromeda,
For
which
sure.
is cool, which is what you want.
Okay, dude.
Or you can frame the Gaians and push them into keep goading them into attacking you, and then maybe a crusade will happen earlier. Who knows?
You know,
Politics.
Don't
I'm
tell me
thinking
there's a
about it.
chance. Don't
say
don't
we-
don't don't give me hope.
I'm thinking about it, guys.
Do the
You know, if
mercenaries get
there's
the money?
if
Oh,
there's
God, I was
drop
thinking-
pods for dreadnoughts, then that means that there's probably drop pods for, well, not probably, but we could make drop pods for like larger things.
Like your
So
mom. Sorry.
Wow.
we could drop pod it. We
Fuck.
could lightning strike with like tanks and shit. Or if we get enough like, oomph behind us, we could lightning strike with fucking like Imperial Knights.
Or get Terminator armor and just teleport.
Ourselves.
Yeah.
Yeah, or we could just teleport, but
Oh,
I
right.
want
Teleporting in
big
this galaxy must be far safer since there's
God,
no
yeah.
warp
Oh,
trickery that can
bro, without a doubt. Are you kidding me? If the
I
Psycho's
didn't think about
not
that.
having nightmares, then that means that just like moving around through the warp is absolutely gonna be the
If
best
Hopefully.
time
we
of your
start
life.
bringing a bunch of people from the Imperium, I wonder how that's going to.
Maybe.
The
Maybe
more
it'll
and
be
more
gay.
psychers we start pulling into the fucking Andromeda galaxy. Oh, that's the one
Leave
thing.
the ciphers at home.
That's the thing. That's the thing. It's like the Gaians aren't stupid. They're not warmongers. They're humanity. So it's like they have no problem making treaties. They don't really want to wage war because it risks resources and stuff. But
Yeah.
you also have the Church of Adam. They had to align with them so long ago, and the Church of Adam's almost as powerful as the Gaian sovereignty. So the Church of Adam's the one that's fucking has issues with like psychers and Xenos, and they want everything purged and only human.
Wouldn't it be a shame if we started a civil war by dressing up as the Gaians? Oh, wouldn't that be a shame?
Oh my god, Stark's definitely gonna fuck up the warp in this galaxy.
Yeah,
Yeah, you're talking about Andromeda's like relative. Well, I mean, shit. Andromeda's a white suburban neighborhood compared to fucking the Milky Way. In 40k, so like there's not a lot of drama in this area. You start a
guess I get
civil
some
war that could
Wi-Fi going
fuck
with
the
me back.
warp hard.
Does Stark sound like the kind of Stark the Bleeding Heart. Of course he does. Also, I sure hope that Nakai doesn't look at the Roll20 chat and see a rude whisper he was sent.
Oh,
I'm
Lord.
literally gonna send you a dick pic.
Hashtag blade.
You wouldn't.
Swear to God.
You wouldn't be the first Marine whose penis I've seen. Don't worry about it.
You're gonna see a lot more assholes than you will ball sacks, believe it or not.
I know.
All right, I think we're gonna stop it here. So we got it set up as them pushing towards the Boston region, and they're gonna start infiltrating and getting their info. But yeah, hey, Red, thanks for tuning in, and I'll talk to you tomorrow about the getting you on the podcast this week, or not tomorrow, I guess later this week. But I'll message you. But hey, man, you guys have a good one. See you.